Oh!
Welcome
God!
to High Rollers.
Oh, boy.
Dungeons and Dragons show with me, your Dungeon Master Mark Sherlock Humes. Join me this week. Rihanna.
You sound like the kid from Malcolm in the Middle.
Rihanna.
It's Carol Channing.
There's a lot of in-jokes missed out here. Chris Trott.
Hi.
Kim Richards.
Hi.
On the other side, Tommy H.
They were always
Casey
energy.
Morrison.
Hello.
He's been a bit of a tired boy, so he's hyping himself up.
Like a Wallace and Gromit.
Sid!
Oh my god.
He was like dead
we
a
got
second
there.
ago.
Yeah, just
Right.
before we started.
Before we get started, there's one quick thing before we get on to the sponsors, which Chris Trott's going to do. We had a couple of problems last week. We didn't have the NordVPN thing up right at the start. We didn't have the proper links.
Yeah.
So I just want to say big thank you to NordVPN.
There it is.
Mention them again. Go check out the link in chat. There's the code promo below. The link's in chat. Go check them out. It's really awesome. Thank you guys so much. Just wanted to give them a quick shout out because it did go a little bit wrong last week. Thank you very much. As always,
Yes.
welcome.
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 Welcome. Welcome to High Rollers, the show where the law's made up and the XP doesn't matter.
Yeah, there it is.
Chris Trott.
Today's sponsor is Critit.co.uk. I will only begin this sponsorship when I feel like I'm capable, which means I have to roll a critical.
What?
No.
12,
10.
10,
I forbid this.
2,
I absolutely
12.
forbid
12.
hang on, just take...
this. No.
14.
No, try this.
14.
This is my weight advice.
Oh, 14.
I'll continue anyway. I'm not worthy of
Please
this,
do.
but Critit, in their words, have products for a gamer, from a gamer.
Yeah.
Dom, the owner, combining their lifelong love for both carpentry and RPG gaming to bring you the very best accessories in the RPG world.
Wow.
They also offer other items that have been hand-picked to ensure that Critit.co.uk have the finest selection. We've got some things that have been sent to us.
These are in like these are like their test. These are like their future dice sets, but we don't have them in the nice bags. These
some
have got the nice bags.
acrylic monster
Monster tokens.
tokens.
They're very good if you don't want to get minis. You can get like a nice the acrylic tokens.
They've got very
nice
cool little.
They're all like handmade.
Yeah, they're really
It's very
nice.
It's very nice.
Very lovely. Very
We're
lovely.
super happy to have Critit as the sponsor, and we're pleased to announce a 20% discount code.
That's a huge discount.
It's dedicated to you guys when you use the code. Use the cult. High roll.
It is a cult. That's true. Yeah.
It excludes pre-orders, so it's all the stuff that's available right now.
And there's some good stuff on there, really cool stuff.
We've had
Check out the link in chat.
Yep.
And please use that one. Just don't go to critit.co.uk. Use our tracking link because that helps us and our sponsorships and continued sponsorships. Thank you. Please check it out.
Please
Also,
do.
so this dice has a unicorn on it. So
Yes. And yeah.
why wouldn't you?
Also,
Critic been sponsors before.
They
Yeah.
Very lovely.
when you go
Very
onto their website, it says you roll the crit, so you could have just done that, gone to their website.
Well,
There you
all
go.
you can at home now. Anyway,
Yeah.
That's
talking of critical,
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
there's only one tool that is critical to letting high rollers run smoothly.
Nice.
And that's D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond!
Have you ever come to a grinding halt because some Aarakocra Grabard is flicking through the player's guide to figure out just how healing works? Perhaps a beautifully atmospheric combat encounter has been utterly ruined because the human ranger is buried nose deep in the class section working out how to min-max his damage output.
That's you.
Worry no more, because with D&D Beyond, you have an interactive and real-time character sheet that has all of your character's information just to tap away.
Yeah.
Got a feature that you don't quite get? Tap on it for a full description pop-up. Never again fall asleep at the table as the Goliath fumbles on the floor. Character sheets scattered after trying to act out their punches. The entire catalogue of D&D 5th edition is at your fingertips
I've played all these.
on any smart device. Just head to dndbeyond.com and gain immediate free access. I don't think I've said this before. You gain free access. You can sign up for free.
Yeah.
And you gain free access to the character creator and the basic rules as well. So you can actually you can make up to 6 characters.
Do you know what I noticed D&D Beyond had the other day? If you've never played D&D before, they have a new little tab which is for brand new people to D&D, and it explains it's like a nice page that you scroll down and it takes you through how the game works, everything that.
I'm going to stop you there.
Go on.
I'm the fucking sponsor guy. So
Yeah, well, I'm just mentioning something I saw that was
Wow.
cool.
It's bullshit. I'm out. I came back.
Thank you, Chris Trott. Thank you, D&D Beyond.
One thing D&D Beyond can't do is stop your iPad from updating. Why? Is that just I might be out of action for a while.
Well, it's a good job the DM's got his iPad ready to go. Just in case he needs to lend it out. D&D Beyond, super awesome. Thank you, Chris Trott. We actually are going to be filming a really cool thing for D&D Beyond. It's going to be really exciting.
Hot day of the year.
A couple of other quick reminders. Don't forget, we have our brand new mini-series that we do straight after this stream. It's called Lightfall's Descent. You can go over to twitch.tv/DND after we finish, so at 8 o'clock tonight, just after Aerois finishes. Rivals of Waterdeep will be finishing up their stream, so say hi to those guys on the D&D channel. Go check us out then. It does also go up on YouTube and is on podcast as well, if you're missing out. It's a lot of fun. The Lightfall characters all in hell. I'm having a great time.
We're in hell.
You're in hell and you're trying to fight Arcan, which is really fun. Joe Magnano's at San Diego Comic Con this week, so he can't stop you.
Oh, you mean Arcan, the really, really nice one, right?
Yep.
He has just released
Arcan the kind.
The kind, yeah.
The kind do it.
Arcan the chill.
The chill.
Different one, I'm afraid.
Damn it.
Next week there is no stream because a bunch of us are going out LARPing, so there's no stream next week. But a couple of us, specifically me, Katie, and Tom, will be at PAX West this year.
Yeah, we will.
We're going to be at PAX West. We're going to be doing a signing with the Idle Champions booth, where we're going to have an exclusive poster, High Rollers art poster. It's got all of our character art on there. It's really cool. It's going to be exclusive. So definitely come and see us there if you can. If you've got tickets, come and see us. We're also trying to do a Q&A panel. We're trying to see if we can do a live game. We're currently waiting to see if we can make that happen.
Hopefully.
We'll let you know. But come and see us at PAX West. It's going to be a chance for us to meet you all at a US convention if you can make it. I know that not everybody can, but we hope to see you there. I'm excited. I've never done a PAX before. Yeah, first PAX. So I'm excited.
Also, Seattle's pretty lovely.
Pretty cool.
Seattle.
What?
Top Pot Donuts! I can go back! I can go back! It's been so long!
I just want to go back to Mox's boarding house.
Mox's boarding house.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
food at that place as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be hitting up Mox's
This
for
is my
sure.
first time in Seattle, so
It's going to be great. We're going to take you... I don't know. I almost said Mummy and Daddy are going to take you there. And I was like, nope.
I mean, Nina's going. Damn it. Oh, okay. Yeah.
okay.
Also,
Carry on.
another note. Tomorrow is the last day to grab Sentry and Paladin shirts. So I've got the Paladin one on. Kim has got, okay, she's prepared. She's got it.
This side of the table.
So this is the last day that you can get the Paladin and Sentry bundle. Sorry, tomorrow, Monday. Monday I don't know what the day is.
22nd.
That is the last day.
Once
that you
they're
can get wearing
gone,
it.
they're gone.
They're
Yeah.
gone for
They're
good.
gone. They're gone.
So if you're a Paladin, or if you're a plant, mum,
If you're a plant.
guardian, warrior,
If you're a plant,
Are you a
Get it.
plant?
get it.
Get it.
Get the shirt.
So,
Store
and
at
thank
Yorkscast.
you-
You a
Yeah,
plan.
thank you to everyone who has bought one so far. And as we have been saying before, these are limited edition. So with the Barbarian ones, limited edition,
once they're
Paladin,
gone.
limited edition. We're trying this new system. So if you do see things that you want, just know that it is probably going to be a limited edition run.
Limited
unless you
thing.
say
so
otherwise.
get it now or you'll
otherwise.
never get it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Store.yorkscast.com. Don't forget, if you use code HIGHROLLERS, you get 10% off any order on the store. And if you order over £100, it is, I believe, free worldwide delivery as
Yes.
well. The very last thing I wanted to...
No one's
There's another thing.
But it's gone out of my brain. I had it and then he started
How
talking and now
fast?
it's gone. Never mind. Let's just run the video.
Wait.
Subs!
Subs.
Don't forget, thank you so much everybody who subbed up on the High Rollers D&D Twitch
have
channel.
sneak emote.
We've got the sneak emote. I'm sure it's being spammed there. Hopefully it's being spammed everywhere else.
You should go show off the Yogscast Twitch.
They love it.
And then see what they're missing out on.
Yeah.
See what they're missing out on.
Wait.
But what I was going to say...
I've got one more after you finish.
Okay, what I was going to say there was, if you do have Amazon Prime, don't forget you get a free Twitch Prime sub. It's a massive... The Twitch subs has been an amazing support and it really helps us out. So if you want to go sub up to High Rollers D&D, we're 50 slots away from a new emote
48.
slot.
Yeah.
48, there you
48.
go. So, yeah, and big thank you to the people who did some major gift subbing
Yeah,
last week as well.
Really good.
Tom, quickly go.
Next week we're away for LARP. The week after that,
Shotgun.
Shotcon.
But we're streaming from Yogcon.
We are streaming from YogCon, and I think because it is
We're
going to
not-
be streamed normally, and it's in our normal slot,
It's not as long as our usual slot.
it's not as long, but we can still do a normal episode.
But
2
it
hours.
depends if you want to do a one shot for the audience.
I
there.
think
No,
I'd like
we do
to.
not.
I think I would like to do because this will be the first time where we can stream on our channel. It's going to go out normal time slot, The audio is going to be our stuff, so it should all be fine.
Keep up to date with what we're
Keep up
doing
to date,
on
yeah.
Twitter
But
at High Rollers
Yocon,
D&D.
we'll see you there.
Yeah.
With that,
Roll the damn intro.
let's play the video.
Good God.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Aerois. The party faced off against a number of assassins in Norfir's apartment after a fireball explosive detonates amid them. Quill's beak is broken by a long-ranged marksman with a Thunderstone firearm from a nearby building, but is rescued by Lucius, who drags him to safety. The rest of the party take care of the assassins, though some may have escaped. The City Watch arrive, along with Captain of the Royal Guard, Valera Demethal, who questions the PCs and explains the severity of the attack. The party are given permission to openly carry their arms about the city and instructed to be careful. Quill is healed at the Cathedral of Siaska and uses the power of the Eye of the Storm to look back into the past and witnesses a masked and robed figure sending the assassins after them. Revealing this power, he also offers to look into the fate of Virion Elanasto, Lucius's father. At the remains of the Elanasto estate, Quill uses the power and sees Lucius's father setting off a trap similar to the one that nearly killed them, but far more powerful. It is unmistakable that he dies in the blast. As Lucius comes to terms with the loss of his family, a masked figure flies down and confronts him, claiming that he is not the real Lucius Elanasto. How's that, Tom? Did it clean?
Well, now I'm going to have to edit that bit out.
Why?
Sure. No,
You
it's
don't
fine.
have to
Keep
edit
it
that
in.
out.
Fine.
Yeah,
That was a
keep
clean intro for once. It's only been like, what, episode 41?
It has.
Oh.
A couple of quick
Year.
things before we jump back in. So these guys have already noted this down, but you did gain some XP. I can calculate up some XP from the recent fights, but also the discovery of Gusthaven, which you had not visited before.
Yeah.
So they
World
each gained
Ding.
about 2,000
Yeah,
XP.
World Ding.
World Ding.
We haven't done that yet.
Also, just to explain, we introduced a new critical mechanic last week,
Yes.
which we're going to be keeping. The way it works is that rather than rolling your damage twice, you do the maximum damage on the dice, and then you roll the dice again. So if you say, if your weapon damage was normally like a D4, 1d10 plus 4, you would do 10 plus 1d10 plus 4.
And you said you can crit spells.
If the spell has an attack roll, you can crit with it.
So if I crit a guiding bolt,
Yes.
I do max damage on 4d6.
46, so that would be 12, 24. And then you
then
would roll
roll
46 again.
Okay.
But
But
you have
it
to roll
also
a
affects
20.
to us if someone
Yes.
crits us.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, no,
I'm
absolutely.
just making sure I hear that right.
It's actually quite, from the comments, it's actually quite common. A lot of people tend to use that critical.
Yeah, it makes sense. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to die instantly.
It means
Yeah.
crits are really awesome and like amazing, but also very scary.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but it also means that things like Hexblade Warrior becomes very powerful now, because it increases your chance of
The more
critical.
dice there are, crazier it is.
Yeah, same with like Reckless Attack now. Like,
Yeah.
fishing for a crit is war. Ooh, I might get a crit and do loads of damage, but now I also get advantage
At
against
the
you.
same time, Bane, the bard spell,
Very awesome.
does that stop them from rolling a crit no matter what? Because
There is
it
a point of
subtracts from the
contention
dice roll.
because this, you could also say that Bless boosts you to a thing. Like I would say that if you roll a 20, it's still a crit,
Right.
but Bane can stop that crit from hitting. So like if I
I
roll
see.
a 20 and then add 6 and I get 26, and then I roll a d4 and minus 4 and go down to a 22, and somebody can like shield spell to like save themselves,
Okay.
then it's a crit but it missed. So
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, if Bless
It's
doesn't,
complicated.
if Bless doesn't do it, then
because yeah, Bless like I've rolled a 16, but I've rolled a plus 4 on a Bless. That's a natural 20. No, it doesn't
Yeah.
work. So
Ran natural 23.
that was a little bit of mechanics talk for you.
Oh no.
There you go.
Fun.
A bunch of losers.
What a
playing
bunch of
D&D.
losers. So
Can we just like be cool and play D&D now, please?
Yeah, can we just RP for a second? Jeez.
to set the scene.
Yeah.
In the ruined, blackened remains of the Elenasto estate, in the heart of Gusthaven's noble district, there is a quiet scene of serenity for just a moment. Ayla, Sentry, and Smeek the Goblin stand at the gates of the Elenasto estate, looking out onto this kind of broken rubble in front of you. This large, once a large manor house, now reduced to ruin. Quill stands halfway between Ayla and the rest of the part, Ayla, Sentry, and Smeek, and Lucius and Nova, who are currently sat in what once would have been a basement workshop, a kind of recessed part of the house, surrounded by debris, perhaps a few wooden splintered pieces of furniture. Lucius kneeling on the ground, Nova kind of just stood behind with a hand placed on his shoulder, as a figure seems to just swoop down out of the night sky, landing in front of the workshop. They are slender, giving the impression of a feminine figure, but you can't tell because they're completely covered in leather armor and a kind of tight suit of fabric. You can see bandoliers of strange canisters and devices arrayed on a belt and holsters around their legs. And on their face is a kind of white porcelain mask that displays a crescent moon and several stars. No hair, just the mask, and then obviously something keeping their hair tied back. You get the impression it is a female figure, but only because of their body shape. As the voice speaks, it is modulated by some sort of magic, as it looks down at Nova and Lucius, and you hear "You are not Lucius Elenasto."
I'm going to say, you're right, and drop my doppelganger form. No. Imagine.
He was a doppelganger all along!
Entire time.
That's
Son
actually kind
of
of
a-
amazing. Why didn't we do that?
Yeah. I'm a simulacrum.
We can't do that now.
I got plans. Wait, yeah.
Simulacrum.
Different
I know,
conversation.
right? Still haven't
conversation.
given that.
No, I haven't either.
I wish I wasn't.
The figure just kind of stares at you impassively, and you can see that hanging from their belt is a chakram, like a bladed weapon, like a circular bladed weapon. Its hand lingers near the belt, but doesn't go for the weapon itself.
I assume you've been hired to kill me from the wind barrows or something.
Quite the contrary. I'm hunting the Wind Barons. Whoever you are, whatever kind of scam you're playing at, trying to claim this noble's money, it's not worth it. The Wind Barons think that you actually are this lost heir. They're going to kill you for it. I saw what happened in the residential district. You were lucky. You should leave Gusthaven while you can.
Well, I intend to, but I also wish to carry on the legacy, despite you not believing. Don't really care. To be honest, been through enough.
That family's been through enough. It doesn't need more of it doesn't need your charlatan scams. I won't warn you again. Leave.
Who's hired you?
No one. I don't work for anybody.
You don't work for anybody, so what's your interest in my family?
There's a pause. The Wind Barons are a blight on Gusthaven. They're corrupting this city. I'm the only one that's able to deal with them. The Watch, the Palace, they're all under the influence of the Wind Barons. I knew your sister. She and I were close.
I would have.
Ooh, you said your sister. Ooh, so you believe him?
If he is who he claims, I don't have any reason to believe this charlatan.
You know my sister. How well?
Very well. We were close.
Then I would have seen you at formal meetings or...
No, you wouldn't. If you are a Lucius, you would know that your father would not have approved of your sister seeing me.
Oh, can I do it? Do I know this? I know all this stuff.
I mean, it's up to you, really. I think that me and you discussed that.
She quite
High Elf.
secretive.
She was a little bit secretive. She would often go off to work on things, but you kind of always assumed that she was doing something for the business or research. You know that she definitely had workshops that weren't at home that she would go to. She had a social life. She kind of was a lot more active in that regard. But you also know that your family was very traditional, and marriages, and relationships, and things like that were very monitored. There was also this idea of preserving the noble, lineage and making sure that the family weren't fraternizing with people below their station and things like that. There was a traditional sense of purity to be upheld. Nothing she's saying is striking you as particularly out of what you would know.
Apart from her current appearance.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Is like she is clearly dressed up as some sort of vigilante.
Just one of my sister's many secrets, I'm sure. If I'm to believe you, what's to say that you're not here just to claim anything that this estate has left?
I wouldn't have the claim to it. We were close, but not that close. Besides, I don't need your family's money. Your family, something wrong was done to them. They were enemies of the Wind Barons. They stood up against them. We need more people like that in Gusthaven. Your family stood for something. So do I.
Did this all happen while I was away?
This has been happening for months. Although, perhaps you were not so aware of it. Perhaps you are more like you've done well to research your part, con artist.
If this has been going on for so long, why...
Quilla's walked up at this point.
I was pointing the gun.
No, absolutely. You point a gun and
but-
you've slowly been walking up towards her and stuff.
Unloaded gun.
Are we standing at the gate for any reason? Are we guarding, or what are we doing?
You guys were giving us a moment of privacy.
I think they were given a moment, and this is all happened. You guys can again, when you see this figure land, you could have been making your way
Yeah,
up.
can we make our way up?
Yeah, you'll give a little bit of time for Quill and the others to speak, and then you guys will arrive basically.
If this has been happening for so long, why do you believe the scryers so quickly that Lucius is just dead?
Who said I believe the scryers?
Well, who says this isn't Lucius?
She the figure just looks and is like, whoever this is, they're not Lucius Elanasto. Lucius Elanasto was a crybaby noble.
Oh, that is you.
What sort of... the type that never would have associated himself with a bunch of mercenaries.
We're not really mercenaries.
They're quite delightful.
Whoever you say you are, I won't repeat my warning again. You should leave Gusthaven. If nothing else, take some pride in your own life. The Wind Barons will come after you.
That's what I'm trying to do until you interrupted us.
I just wanted to make it clear. I want stomach for you, trying to deceive this city.
Excuse me. Hi, Nova. Just wondering, are you this Moonstar everyone's been talking about?
There is an actual chuckle, wow, really?
Just the mask with the star.
I'm Siaska's champion here. I'm gonna make sure that real justice is done.
That's so cool.
Champion of the gods.
Look, I don't care for your lack of belief in me. I don't need it. However, I have a priority to do well for my family, whether you believe me or not. I'm not going to let anyone stand in my way doing that.
Then perhaps we'll meet again. And then slap something on the wrist. and just vanishes.
She was so cool.
Ayla and Sentry at this point, and Smeek like run up.
Champion of Siaska.
Sneak down.
I think we might need to go after her somehow.
Why?
I mean, that was what I was told to do, to look for all
Oh,
these
as in go after, as in make friends, not go after and
people.
like.
Go after her, no.
Quill, out the corner of your eye as you're having this conversation, you just see like a flicker of shadowy movement, and you basically see this Moonstar in a nearby alleyway, like
Peeking from around the corner.
No, you see them basically like kind of half hidden, pull out some sort of device, fire a sort of grappling hook to a rooftop, and then vanish from sight. Whatever made her vanish didn't last long enough for you not to spot her.
Okay. Well,
I've got to play the mechanics. Like,
Yeah.
I rolled a bad stealth check, and Quill still sees, basically. It's like, sneaking away, but the fucking super bird is like,
Movement detected.
yeah, basically. Fucking T1000 over here still sees like, dun.
Is your perception back up to like
yeah, I've got 22
22?
perception. Yeah. It's back
It's like, even a
Jeez,
character who is
higher
very
than
adept at sneaking away can't.
Not enough.
Sometimes it isn't enough.
Oh, there she is.
But yeah, you just see her basically grapple hook onto a roof and then climb over the city street, the roofs.
What was the thing that she had? Did it look similar to like Perry's weird watch thing?
No, it didn't. It looked more like it was like a leather bracer with various like files kind of on it. One of them, it seemed, was like built that could be immediately smashed on the forearm.
Nice.
Almost like had like some sort of like potion of invisibility that she could quickly deploy and would.
That's awesome.
Smash the vial, rub it over herself.
It seems that whatever
Just
contact,
standing there.
immediate contact.
Then have to sneak the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know that she was holding a crossbow to your head, but that was cool. That mask, that outfit,
I mean,
it was amazing.
it was cool, but at least we got one thing. Lucius has a good disguise. So that's good, at least. But
You could show her the little vision that you took of Lucius and be like, hey.
I thought about it, but then I imagine she would have probably gone like, oh, well, you could have gotten that any time. And it's like, well, how can I prove when I took it?
I'm sorry. I don't need to think about this woman right now. I'm going to walk away.
Also, that.
This is not my territory, gonna be honest. Just gonna stick with the goblin over here and just, if anyone else wants it, Smeek, yep.
Like Smeek looks at Lucius going, is like, Lucy,
Lucy, yes.
Lucy.
Lucy.
He's trying to say Lucius's name, which doesn't translate in the earring. It just
Lucy.
comes out as Lucy. But then he says, "Why Lucy sad?"
Okay.
Oh, Smeek.
He doesn't seem to care. It's like a question. He's not sad. He's just like, "Why is the elf sad?"
yeah.
That's the impression that
Yeah.
you get.
I'm just gonna run after Lucius.
Okay.
And just be like, oh, Lucius, I'm so sorry. Like, just trying to catch her. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, that was really insensitive of me.
It's okay. I understand she was cool, but we need to be careful. We don't know anyone's intention anymore.
You're right, and you were careful. I was about to blab that you were Lucius, but then, like, you know, you're right. You were right to not even try.
Yes, we got to do the right thing and be careful. Gustavon's not what I thought it was.
So what do you want to do next?
Lie on the floor, try not to cry a lot.
Okay,
And,
after that?
I haven't thought that far ahead.
I will point out, it is very late, and you have not slept. You are tired.
Can we have a nap?
I think we should have a sleep.
Yeah.
Like an actual
Sure.
sleep.
That does involve finding a place.
People are trying to kill us. You know, the usual, basically. So at this point, normal.
I'd really hope that civilization would have places and people that didn't want to kill us, but here we are. Do you know anywhere
There is nowhere that nobody will want to kill you.
Yeah.
Do I know somewhere?
You know that Gusthaven is a huge city. It's a huge city. There are lots of visitors and travelers and merchants that come to do business here. And to accommodate them, there are dozens of hotels. They're not inns because they don't really do like food at the same time. They are just like places to rent a room and sleep in. There are tons of them. You can find them at the docks. You can find them in the trade ward. You can find them in the noble district. You can find them in the living district. You can make a pick. What you need to choose is how much money do you want to spend and how inconspicuous do you want to be?
There are several places, but we need to be careful because some of them don't have breakfast included in the rooms.
Well, that won't do.
Which I've never been to an establishment that doesn't have that.
I'm sure there's plenty of places we can buy breakfast.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there's the cuisine areas, which is like there's like restaurants, government
just
funded.
Go somewhere that's nice and quiet where we might
Noble
not
district.
be seen.
Right.
No.
I don't really know any inconspicuous places, only places where people want to be seen going in and out of because it's good for
So
image.
none of the places that you would use.
I have no knowledge of anything useful at the moment.
Anybody else, even though you've not been to Gusthaven, I will say that anybody can make a... let's have a think here. Anybody can make a survival or history check.
Ooh, history, yep.
So
24.
Unnatural 20
17
for survival. So 24.
on survival.
24. What'd you get,
Yay.
Quill?
17 survival.
17 survival, 24
24.
history.
8.
8.
Survival.
Oh, let's roll for Smeek, though.
Oh, not 20.
16 plus 1.
Oh, I'm so
Wow.
As good as
17
me.
survival.
So proud of my boy.
So between the group of you, so I'm not going to do this individually. Yeah, there is definitely options here. With the knowledge of history, Nova would know that the merchant district, there will definitely be hotels for various budgets. There will be hotels for rich lifestyles, for Ethereum trade. There will be places for like airships crew, like merchant airship crew to go and stay. All very doable. You can find somewhere that's inconspicuous, where you won't be troubled. If you can give if as long as you don't mention Lucius's name or the Elenasto name, if you just pose as a bunch of travelers, you'll be fine. Those of you who did survival, Ayla, this is more of just logical thinking. The docks will have places to stay where people coming and going will be so common that nobody will bat an eyelid at you guys spending a night there or 2 nights there. And it will probably be quite busy even late at night. Same with the merchants district. Both places will remain busy pretty much 24 hours a day. Obviously, very late hours in the morning, then early hours in the morning, it probably will be less busy. But there will still be people. And really, it just comes down to what kind of lifestyle you wish to maintain whilst you do that. So you can pretty much go from anything from modest, which is 5 silver pieces per room, per person, to aristocratic, which is 4 gold per person per room.
I mean, anything's better than
Modest.
in the rain.
I will tell you that,
Vauxhall.
you with the 24s and stuff like that, modest will definitely keep you more inconspicuous. Staying at somewhere very fancy,
They would
you're bound
expect
to be
that,
noticed.
Lucius,
Exactly.
as well.
Yes. You could go up to comfortable. Modest, the next level up from modest is comfortable, which is 8 silver pieces per
I have
per
pillows there. Amazing.
That's
make
not
hard
far off. A modest is, hey, here's a straw bed and a blanket. Have fun. Comfortable is, this is an actual feather bed. And there's a wash basin in the room that you can use with a jug of water. Have fun.
Perfect.
It's a real traditional
Do you
kind
have
of
a
place to
sand
stay.
bath?
Yes. Yeah. Is there a pile of sand in the corner?
No, you're in the sky. There's no dust up here.
What the hell? I'm going to be filthy.
You can use water. Birds do bathe in water.
They do have water baths.
Aarakocra, cannon there.
Can't find. Sure.
They'll drown.
Sand is
Has to be
coarse.
dirt or sand.
It gets everywhere. I knew what you were doing.
Oh, here we go.
I knew what you were doing.
Oh no.
Snap your pen.
That's a bad omen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lol.
Let's go comfortable
Other
then.
than days.
Yeah.
Find a
nothing
place
mid.
nearby.
Yeah, you find a place called the...
Oh, on the spot names, go.
Rusty Bucket.
No, that would be a piratey, really
Mended
shit
Bucket.
place. And this place is called
Bucket.
the Swan Hotel.
The Swan
Feathery
Hotel.
flag.
And it is in the trade district,
Sorry,
the
what did you
merchant
say?
district.
Feather and flange?
She's gone.
Flange is a
It doesn't
great
take
word.
much.
Feather and flange.
Flange.
Sure, it's called the feather and flange
Flange.
now.
Oh, canonized it.
Flange is a mechanical part.
Yeah.
This is a hotel that specializes in Ethereum industry workers.
Plane doesn't have a phalange.
I'm writing this down.
The fuck
Feather
is a
and flange.
The feather and flange.
Sure.
It is.
doing this today.
So my notebook now.
The on-call porter is a young halfling man who is busy reading a book. It appears to be a piece of fiction about some sort of adventuring knight going around during the Sundering War. And he kind of looks up. He's like, "Oh, sorry, sirs. Hello. How can I help? How many rooms? My apologies. Late in the evening.
We sharing some rooms?
I have several twin rooms available if you prefer, or doubles if any of you are together. I don't know.
I'm keeping in the background with spectacles on. Is that right?
The nose. I don't think you bought spectacles though.
We-
Oh no, you got the
we
shades. You
bought
got the.
dark
I mean,
glasses.
it is nighttime, so wearing those is
He's just
like.
bumping into things.
But it's also like that makes him stand out more. He's walking around in shades at nighttime. Like,
Keeping my head down and everything.
yeah,
So
with the brown hair.
looking
Like
more conspicuous.
honestly, with the haircut and the hair dye, you're not. Like you just look like a traveler who's hanging out at the back of the rest of your motley crew. He is more. Also, Smeek being there is an amazing distraction because he is a goblin in weird armor with a massive halberd, just walking around, and he naturally He like naturally draws people's eye. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like they're looking at this goblin.
Speaks detrimental to everything we're doing right now.
No, he's helpful right now. He's helping.
Well,
They
in
keep-
the
keeping
it's
attention
but
on
it's also
Lucius.
very easy to
Yeah.
find the goblin.
If they
You find-
know that you have a goblin, then people can find you.
And if we don't want people to look at the goblin or Lucius, then we'll just carry around a dead body and they'll be looking at that instead.
Yeah.
Carrying around dead
It's a
body.
natural
Not right
progression.
now,
not right
but we
now.
were.
But we could. I'm just thinking.
Ignore the dead bird. It's fine.
So, how many rooms? Do you guys want to split? 8 silver a night.
Should we split? Save some
Sure.
cash?
Cash. Yeah,
Sure.
we can share.
Sure.
I
How
feel
many?
like we should share as well, just so Lucius is safe
Yeah.
in case someone kind of stabs you in the night or something.
In the morning, if we want to progress, I could see if I can sort this writ out, get some gold.
Where would we need to go for that?
I will tell you. You will need to go, Lucius, to. It's in this district. It's in the trade district. You will need to go to the Skyward Trust Bank. It is the banking establishment of Gusthaven.
I need to go to the banky.
Right, the banky. But you will then need to prove your identity somehow?
Yeah. Will they not be expecting you to go for
Your
some-
noble, your
I've
arcane
got
mark.
my mark.
But will
Right.
they not be expecting you to go and get that money? You know, probably.
There is that potential. Depends how much we need it right now.
It is a public bank, I will say this. Like, it's not like a private, like, you know, it's
Okay.
like walking into a HSBC, you know, it's like you walk in. If people were going to try and kill you there, they would have to do it in broad daylight, you know. You imagine that the only reason they could strike at you in North's apartment is you were kind of secluded away.
Yeah.
Unless they have people working at the bank
Yeah.
as insurgents, waiting for me to withdraw, they should be fine.
We're
Someone
going to
should
need it
go
at some
with
point
you.
anyway.
Don't go by yourself.
We'll bring Smeek.
Yes, nice and conspicuous.
You're going to need 3 rooms minimum, so.
Yeah.
Treasurer, that would be 18, 16, 24 silver, which is 2.5 gold.
2.4 goldies.
I'm just going to do the silver, so 24 silver.
24 silver. Remember, it's 10 silver to 1 gold.
Yeah. Sweet.
Halfling basically just hands you some keys. He'll direct you to a set of stairs that lead up to the upper floors. It is a multiple floored establishment. It's about 3, 4, 5 floors, I think. It's built into a large spiraling tower, very similar to North's apartment. It does have a larger base unit at the bottom, but that appears to be mainly for things like storage and cleaning supplies and things like that.
Gonna clear my throat and tap the halfling's shoulder.
Oh, yes, sir?
Excuse me. Is breakfast included?
No, this is just a hotel there, sir, but there's a lovely cuisinery just across the road that you can go to. It's run by my brother.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Strange fellow. And he just pops his little book out and goes back to reading. And yeah, you guys make your way up. Smeek is assumed just follows Ayla the whole time. You make your way up there. There are 3 rooms. They're not next to each other. They're kind of semi-spread out. It's kind of like one room, the next room's occupied. The room after that is you have a room, and then the other room is on the other side of the building, basically.
Okay. Who wants to stay where?
I feel like maybe Sentry should share a room with Lucius.
Yeah.
You're the
Yep.
most. I mean, your name is literally Sentry.
How long do you
Sentry
need to stand
Yes.
by for?
Sentry.
4 hours.
Yes.
Never.
Yes.
Just a quick nap.
Lucy.
Quick little nap.
Yes.
Quill. Allah.
Close enough.
Alan.
Ayla.
Allah.
Ayla.
Allah.
He's saying it, but he's got a really weird little twist.
Little accent.
Never.
Never.
Who is Smeek staying with?
I mean,
Good luck. Good night. Sentries.
He's not responding. He's
Blissfully
just
silent.
pointing your names out.
It's like a kid.
He doesn't understand what you're talking about.
he's gonna follow me. So
It's like a dog. Just let him sleep
honestly,
on the floor.
either Sentry or I can stay with you, Lucius. I think that's the best shout.
Well,
It just depends if you want a goblin around.
absolutely not.
So Sentry it is, because he's gonna follow me.
Yes, I quite.
Unless you want to go with Sentry.
companion.
Allah.
Okay.
Quill.
You and me, Quill.
Yep.
I was just wondering if I could ask you some questions, like, and just write down stories about, like, you know, how you died and if you saw anything and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna ask you that all night, if that's all right. Yeah. Okay. See you in bed, bud.
So you're taking the goblin, right?
Well, the goblin can. You want the goblin?
Trade.
Okay. Honestly, speak with Quill.
Quill.
Yes.
Quill.
I'll share with Nova.
I've already been unlocking the room and stuff. Like, what?
Can we stay so that it's like
Smeek just follows Quill now.
What have I done?
The redemption arc. Smeek's
this is where they
redemption.
become best friends?
Best buds.
Tom Hazel is so bad right now.
After you, Smeek.
Goes in the room. When you get into the room, Nova, what are you doing in the room? Just like laying stuff out?
Am I-
Smeek is jumping up and down on
Okay.
the bed now, and you're in the same room.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you, Smeek, and
you're-
Quill.
Smeek, you're.
I thought it was going to be me and Nova shared and Quill got Smeek.
That's what you thought.
Yeah.
Nova's in one room, and then Quill's just jets into a door, and Smeek's gone in.
You know, actually, it makes. But. You know what? All 3 of us in here, Ayla can have the room to herself. Sure.
Sure.
Okay. I guess I can try and teach Smeek some stuff.
He gets bored of jumping up and down on the bed, and starts like just looking around the room, like pulling stuff out of drawers and like tugging on curtains. He cuts off a bit of curtain, ties it into his armor.
Smeek, no! No! Smeek!
Never.
Okay, can I take the earring and like clip it on him? Smeek, no. Stop. Stop cutting the curtain.
He stops.
Thank you.
We need to get another earring so that we can have a conversation.
He's just like,
with
look
Smeek.
like, what is? He looks confused, but yeah, he understands you.
Okay, Okay, yeah.
Good night, Smeek. What have you done? He's making really weird noises.
It's okay, don't worry about it.
Okay.
We're just going to a fucking hotel to sleep.
I assume it's really loud. Like even if you're in a different
Sneaky
room.
move.
There's like a keep it down out there. Shut up.
Okay,
These walls are
Smeek.
thin.
Smeek.
Smeek. Quill wants to know a story. Tell Quill a story about your life.
But quietly. Quiet voice.
Can I at least have the earring?
Yeah, I'll while he's starting, I'll gently take the
No,
So I thought
you're not a god of lightning or thunder. No, he's like.
Okay. Smeek.
I thought we had 2 of them.
No, we don't. I was gonna
Okay.
go buy
Smeek,
another
give
one.
Nova the earring back.
Smeek.
Just
Smeek.
a bit.
Could I take
He
it?
looks
Give it to
sad.
Quill.
Gives it to Quill.
Okay, now please tell me the story, please.
Now he doesn't understand.
Understand you. Put the earring back on him. Okay, Smeek, this earring
So confused.
allows you to understand us. But if Quill wears it, he can understand you. So we need to share.
Yeah.
Share.
Okay. Now.
Okay.
Tell me the story of your life. And I'll put the earring on me.
He sits on the floor and he tells you a story, and it is the story of Smeek. And that
Is it
story,
thrilling?
the story is you do find out a few things. I'm not going to tell you the story, but you find out that Smeek is one of 17 brothers.
Oh my gosh.
He is one of the middle brothers. Half of his brothers died
Good.
to humans
Bad.
that came and that killed them.
Right.
And he wandered around in the mountains until the storm spoke to him. And he started hearing the storm telling him that he had to die. And then he met Vezik, who told him that he and many of the other goblins had been chosen to become great warriors, and that only by dying to the storm could they become such things, that they would become stronger goblins. And because he had seen so many of his brothers die, he was afraid of being weak, and so he wishes to become strong, which is why he seeks out his death. And yeah, that's the story of Smeek.
I'm not going to tell you the story. Tell the story.
Yeah.
Well, not like in character. I was like, I'm going to tell
I demand
Quill.
it in Smeek's
Demand
voice.
it, Smeek.
No. That's
yeah.
it. Right. No more Smeek with Tom.
As a small detail, can I have cast comprehend languages beforehand so I could listen in?
Sure.
Just
Sure.
listen in.
Yes.
I could just recite it
I don't want to hear it.
as he's going. I imagine he's speaking slow enough.
And he speaks in broken, like, to you, you understand it as like, me, Smeek, many brothers, and then he counts them on his fingers, and he goes like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but he's up to like 17, and you just assume that that's how many.
Many
Yeah.
lots.
Yeah, many lots kind of thing. Yeah, and yeah, he just speaks to you in broken language. So there you go. You now have the backstory of Smeek. Well done.
Right.
Yay!
I'll give you 50 XP.
Yes!
Not right now. You get to add that later.
Can we sleep?
Yeah.
What a gold mine.
Anything else? Anything else from anybody else? Sentry.
Ayla's having a great
Lucius.
time doing nothing and having no goblin near her.
In
It's just
silence.
Silence.
I mean, there's no silence. You can still hear noises from the walls.
Yeah, but she's used to.
Yeah.
She'd slept in the woods
And it
all
is-
the
yeah.
time. It's fine. This is
Would
great.
Ayla find this kind of bed uncomfortable, though? This is like a very soft, pillowy bed. And you probably can't shake the memory that you are on a massive chunk of rock hurtling through the sky in the air above the clouds. So kind of you're lying there and you're like, peace at last. And then you can just imagine clouds underneath you and this feeling of like you're about to fall out of bed and it's like, ah!
How distracting is Smeek throughout the night?
Once he's finished telling his story, he just...
Tips over and falls asleep.
No, he
instantly.
doesn't tip over and fall asleep, but he's just like goes around to like looking through stuff. He tries swinging the halberd around a few times.
Okay.
But eventually he's tired too. Like he just kind of like, he probably like steals one of Nova's pillows, just one of them, and sleeps on that. Because he sees you guys using them, and so he's like, I want this one.
Give it to him.
He's like, and then he kind of like sits on it. Because he's quite small, he just kind of hugs it on the ground and just falls asleep.
Is there a spare blanket for him?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll put a spare blanket on
He
him.
put a little blanket over him. Little baby boy.
Cute. How lovely.
Sentry and Lucius. Anything?
Good night, Sentry.
Good night, Lucius.
Sweet dreams.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? Do you sleep and dream?
Not really, but
Is that offensive? I'm sorry.
no. It's fine. It's fine. I just don't do that kind of thing, I guess. But are you? I know today's been hard. Are you okay?
I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Given a few decades, I'll work through it. Yes, but it's it's difficult. We've all lost people, haven't we?
Yeah.
I'll get through it.
We're all
Anyway,
here for you.
thank you. I appreciate that, Sentry. Have a pleasant nothing for 4 hours or so.
You have a nice sleep too.
I will.
Hope you have good dreams.
Thank you. And I'm going to pretend to trance. And wait until Sentry's definitely powered off.
Does she power off? She trances as well,
Yeah,
right?
she trances. I think though,
I don't know.
Oh, because I don't think Lucius would know this, but I think Sentry is aware of everything that's going on while she is in a low-powered state.
Whale.
Ooh.
Actually, no, I
like a
don't think you are. Let me check.
But I don't know. I don't know if Sentry would power down though with Lucius.
Oh,
in the
I
room.
see.
Oh, so your face.
Oh.
So I think we
It's
both
like
keep
looking
playing
at each other throughout the
Yeah.
entire night.
So yes, okay. So let's figure out how this goes then. So Sentry is like, I'm not going to power down. I want to watch over.
I'll make sure he's all right. Yeah.
Okay. And Lucius, you're waiting. So you're both trying to
Staring.
pretend that you're asleep or that you're
Nobody
powered down.
sleeps.
So both of you make deception checks. And what's your passive insights?
I just got this idea of like
Plus
Lucius lying in bed and then
So
Sentry's face
12?
just appearing
Yeah.
over it.
12.
Like,
So you're both at 12.
are you asleep?
Oh shit. My deception is 9.
Okay.
Oh,
13.
okay.
So 13. Okay, so Lucius, there's a point where after a few hours, you're pretty sure that Sentry's powered down. Like her lights have dimmed, she's kind of, her head's tilted forward, she's kind of like not, focused on you. But Sentry, you can tell he's staying awake. You can tell he's purposefully staying awake.
Yeah.
So I'm going to open one eye and then look at Sentry and then put a hand in front of her face and then just go to the corner, kind of sit down with my back and then get out the little family photo and probably just quietly sob to myself.
Oh.
That's all it was going to be.
Hey, we got to run through these things, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart.
So for future reference, when you enter your 4 hours of inactive state, you are unaware of your surroundings.
Okay.
So yeah, you would literally like power down for 4 hours. But yeah, you see that Lucius just kind of gets over and goes into a corner. And I think that after some time through the sobs, he probably would, through sheer exhaustion, fall asleep.
Yeah.
But it's outside of the bed, and he's just clutching like this. And it's not even a family photo. It's like a half-broken, burnt frame
Yeah.
with just a tiny bit of the back remaining, where you can see like a metal plaque, like a plate with the El Anasto family. It's just written on this tiny, small little metal plaque on the back of the photo frame. And you see him just, you hear the sobs, and then just quietly he drifts into elven sleep. And elven meditation. He doesn't really sleep. He doesn't have dreams.
Okay.
So
When I know he's asleep, I'll then
you power down.
drift off. Yeah.
For you, Sentry, you don't dream, but powering down, especially lately, you're not sure whether this is due to your age as a guardian or not, but there are flashes of memories, less dreams, more recollections. You get that same image of the family, the Astoria family line, teleporting away, their outstretched hand reaching for you as you're pulled away by this current, this water that's, pummeled through Solvin and dragged you away just as they vanish in a teleportation. And you feel your body being dragged underwater. You feel yourself kind of come up, trying to, get a sense of bearings. You see this giant volcano spewing molten lava, ash cloud erupting. The earth doesn't seem to stop shaking and moving. And you know that somewhere in the distance, Atelicus' spear has ripped apart the land in rage at Siaska's death. And then just blackness of water. And these flashes come to you in your mind. And just that voice. Find the prime. For the rest of you, I think that you have peaceful sleep. I think. It's only been a few days, so there are no visitations, there are no gods that come to speak with you, and there is just peaceful elven, no dream sleep for the old wild elf. And yeah, you guys have a long rest. Enjoy a long rest.
Yay!
Perfect.
Spell slots.
Yeah, I need to swap some spells out as well.
Yes, don't forget cleric.
Oh, yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Paladin, you can as well.
Nice. Let's have a look.
Perfect. Cool, so what time are we up and at 'em?
I would say that you guys are used to traveling on the road recently, so you're probably up quite early as the sun rises. Maybe not Nova.
Nova begs to differ.
Yeah. Those of you who are not Nova and Lucius probably awaken.
Probably gonna get woken up by a goblin though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. How well?
Like my
does-
stupid cat.
think he was quite tired because he was also in quite a few battles. He sleeps pretty well. Like, he probably doesn't wake up until Quill does. And you see him kind of like looking around, and then he just kind of like, Quill!
Oh, okay, be quiet, Smeek. Nova's still sleeping.
He doesn't have the earring anymore. So
You
he's
have
like,
a-
Quill!
Okay, I'll slowly get up.
He like pats his belly. He's like,
Hungry? Okay, great. Okay, I'm trying to be quiet, and I'll like get up and I guess grab his hand and like slowly walk him out of the room whilst trying not to wake Nova up.
Sake.
does Nova wake up?
I rolled a 10, so I don't know.
You're like, you kind of like hear something, but then you kind of drift off again. And then the door shuts.
Close the door slowly, and then
As you emerge into the corridor, there is a dwarven-looking merchant who's like in a bathrobe with like a mug of coffee, like in the next room, who looks at the goblin, looks at you, like holding hands, and he's like, and then he goes down.
A bird and a goblin.
we're lovers.
I can cast ceremony and marry you if you want.
You can.
I can marry you.
It's not going to
Oh
happen.
my god.
You
and
can
then
marry
I'll.
people. You can cast ceremony, yeah.
It's a spell.
Okay, and then
A
I'll.
coming of age ritual for Smeek.
Aww.
Don't, because I will.
Yeah, and I guess I'll walk down into wherever breakfast is, if there is.
Not here. It's
It's across the road.
Right.
They don't in the hotels. It's just a place to sleep. It's like a bed. Like all the food in Gusthaven is highly moderated and monitored. So they have these places called cuisineries, which are basically like government restaurants where you go and you get your food rations for the day. Only the very rich get to have their own like larders and stuff like that because they buy it independently. But most of the poor in Gusthaven, they don't really own anything. Most of the citizens who live in Gusthaven, who aren't nobles, everything is provided to them by the state in exchange for, living and like providing work and stuff like that, because otherwise it'd just be a mess of population.
Could I just walk out the front door and just stand? I guess I just want to take a second to just finally just absorb just regular Gusthaven.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
take a breath of
absolutely.
the air and just
Yeah. Yeah, you step outside to a glorious summer's day. Even though in the lowlands, it's winter, it's the long night, it's the period of cold, rain, darkness. But here in Gusthaven, beautiful, sunny, light breeze, but gently warm. And as you step out of the feather and flange,
Sniper.
onto like a big wide street,
my
you
jaw
see-
disappears.
you keep making jokes, and I'm gonna make stuff like that happen.
Okay.
You step out and you see
Big bag of gold falls from the sky.
beautiful market city. You see shops beginning to open, traveller workers, merchants beginning to peruse their wares. Most of the trade here is for external visitors, so you see a mixture of, you see tourists, you see literally people walking around in amazement, staring up at the beautiful weather. You see merchants bringing goods, trying to sell them at various things, people making trade deals.
Yeah.
And it is peaceful, like people smile and they wave at you. They're like, "Oh, good morning," and they kind of go past you, and they don't seem
holding hands
perturbed.
with your goblin.
They do not seem to care. They are interested, but there is no judgment. There is no suspicion.
Yeah.
There
I think
is
I'm just kind
oh,
of taking this moment of just like almost serenity where I'm like just seeing people who aren't being attacked 24/7, who have regular lives, who are just like just selling their goods and just living their life.
yeah.
And I'm just like, and then I look down and there's fucking Smeek.
I think at this point, Smeek is just looking around, like he's so curious. He just doesn't seem to really understand, but he's just amazed at everything.
Yeah.
Smeek,
So I'll probably just stand there for as long as like I can before I then just food Smeek?
Takes 2 minutes for Smeek to stop being like
Yeah.
tugging on your hand, like wanting to go somewhere.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna find some kind of vendor for food, I suppose.
Yeah, like vendors and stuff. Again, not really so much, but there are restaurants. You can see that there are restaurants, and you can see workers, you can see traders, visitors, all going into these places. There is a set menu, so you see outside that they basically have a this is what food is available here.
This is what food is.
Yep, this is the food you get if you come here. But there are long lines of queues. Like all of these places are busy, and it's all lots of communal eating. So a lot of it's long benches with sort of almost cafeteria style. Like you go up with a plate, and then people, servers, mostly half elves and humans and halflings, basically are like, right, there you go, sir. And it's like a plate of food, and they just serve you the plate. It costs.
Am I able to get enough so that if I was to take all the stuff back?
You can't leave the building.
Son of a...
They're like, sir, no, you can't. Take it with you.
But,
I'm going to eat it here.
Okay, I was hoping to just pick up stuff for everyone so that when they get back, when everyone's up properly.
It costs 2 silver for a meal. So for you and Smeek, it's 4 silver.
Sure. I'll do that.
And Smeek kind of awkwardly sits next to you and is like,
And he has a full meal as well.
Yeah, he has a full breakfast. Like,
A hungry boy.
He's a hungry boy.
A couple of slices of bread, some eggs, probably some like mushrooms or vegetables.
Me too.
A little bit of meat.
Yeah.
But he just is like, he doesn't use the utensils, he just shoves it all in his mouth and starts licking the plates.
Okay.
Meanwhile, everyone else.
I'm just taking a quiet morning.
Yeah.
Just like polishing
There is-
the hammer.
There is a
Enjoying
bathroom
quiet.
in the hotel. It's a per floor. There's like one bathroom per floor. It's like a
Absolutely
shared
use
bathroom.
that.
Yeah, you can have a hot shower. It's magically heated water, provided there are hot towels to dry yourself as well.
I will do that.
Do all of these things.
Spruce up.
Yeah, you guys can all take the time you need.
I'm just upside down in bed enjoying like my first lion.
Yeah, for sure. So everybody except Nova eventually probably meets up. If you guys want food, like I said, it's 2 silver, so mark that off. You have to pay. You don't need to eat, so you're just like,
1 plate, please.
Yes.
Please.
make a persuasion check for me with your little please. You needed a 10 or more.
16.
Yeah, 16. They're like, oh, of course, go on, and they just hand you a warm plate, but we do need it back.
You'll get it back.
Why don't you just put it on your face?
There's kind of a gathered crowd watching Sentry just hold a warm plate to her face in this very busy cafeteria.
It comforts her.
Quite clearly. Are you done?
No.
Okay. Well, just bring it back when you are, my dear. And they
Thank
look
you.
at you strangely. Yeah, you guys can all meet up and have food.
You should really try this.
I will once I've finished.
Anybody who leaves food, Smeek is like pouring at your plates.
Great.
Pushing
He
it away.
tries to get
Like,
it.
Aelin, yeah. You and him are basically the same, like, But yeah.
Okay.
I'm throwing him tidbits.
Yeah, he'll take them. Like, he'll fucking take anything. You like a dog, you can be like, you gonna sneak? And he's like,
Good boy. Nice. Very good.
Calm down. What have you given him this morning?
Food, regular food.
Oh God.
He's probably drunk a coffee as well.
Oh Jesus.
He probably got like a liquid from like the little serving station. He's like, like Stitch is running around with like a burnt mouth.
Oh yes. I'm just imagining Stitch. Actually.
He's very
yeah.
Stitch. He's Stitch meets Donnie. But yeah, enough Smeek shenanigans.
Anyway.
You guys meet up. I hand it over to you.
So, now that we've all had a decent rest for once.
I'm still
in a
sleeping.
long
Don't look
time,
at me.
You're not even there.
Just you wake up eventually and meet up with him,
Oh,
so you guys can have this conversation. Let's not play this game.
What's the plan?
I want to split the party.
Next steps. Moonstar told us to leave. Everyone trying to kill us is another sign to leave. But
Usually that means that we should probably stay because bad things are happening and we can do something about it. But honestly,
I mean,
Just
bad
don't
things
know
are happening in
why.
multiple places.
Yeah.
exactly. So we either stay here and have bad things happen and maybe get to the bottom of something that's very important to Lucius, or we go somewhere else and have other bad things happen, like Starbane and
That whole thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the thing that's going on right now.
I mean, Lucius, if you don't have anything super urgent that you want to do, because my priority is you right now.
I appreciate that, but it doesn't need to be.
I'm just really.
I'm here for
bored.
the cause. Our cause that we've all seemed to have fallen into.
Just super worried about you, bud.
But that I'm worried about us too. We should all be getting each other's backs.
There was something I wanted to check out. I didn't mention it because lots of stuff happening. But don't worry, this isn't about Hadar. Like nothing more on that front.
Good.
Tiangong thinks there's another Eterna here. I just got a feeling when we went past the trade district.
Which we are in.
Is this Farron's fortune?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd like to go and follow that.
Are there good signs? No signs of it being used for nefarious means?
It was just a feeling as we passed by in the Pegasus, the Pegasus taxi cab thing.
Every Eterna we've found has been encapsulated in some device being used to power something that is pretty evil.
I think it's safe to assume, in general, whatever we want to do, probably something bad around it. So, why not?
I mean, the only other thing I was going to suggest is we try and figure out what's going on in Callie's Rest and maybe send a letter to Arvel.
Yeah.
I feel like we owe Arvel an apology for
I mean,
everything.
We should do that, I think, at least.
Don't really know
anyway.
how to word that one.
Salisbury
Sorry
always got you
for
killed.
bringing Starbane back, taking your new daughter away from you instantly, and then abandoning you. Soz?
That's presuming he's even still alive.
Yep, that too. I don't want to think about that part. We can send a letter.
Yeah.
It's
that
worth a
sounds
shot.
Okay.
Don't know if we can get anything back.
Quill, don't you have something you can do?
I could just see Callie's Rest. I could see the eye. I can look to see either Arvel, I could see Callie's Rest, I could see something to see what kind of state it's in, at the very
Maybe
least.
if we use that to see Callie's Rest, because we could always send a message to Arvel. I don't know.
A sending message.
Yeah.
With a spell that I have prepared.
Yeah.
I
I'll also remind you, you have your communication rings.
Yes.
We'll take another
Yeah,
another day.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is that the same district as the trade
Farron's
district?
Fortune, yep. You're in
Yeah,
Farron's
okay.
Fortune, yep.
Don't worry,
the
I've got it
Aethagora-
all.
The Aethagora is in the same district.
It's on my little checklist of things to do.
Lucius, for your benefit, because you were looking at the airship stuff, I mean, this is something that you would probably know because you're not stupid. It will take time. If you want to have an airship built, you will need to begin that process, and then it will take some time. How much time? Depends on what you want.
How much is an airship?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, you are
there
here.
was some information.
You like
Lots of money,
Wow.
which I have the exact amount of, surprisingly.
Interesting. It's almost like
it's not the
exact
Yeah, you had-
Like, you keep
way
saying
more
that,
than
it's
that.
not the
Yeah,
exact
it
amount
was
at all.
20,000?
It's. I will tell you now that the base rank 1 airship is 30,000.
30,000.
Lucius, if he gets the money from his father's will and the compensation owed him by the other Ethereum companies, it was lowered because you were took some money out. It's 23. I think he has about 43,000 gold available to him.
You might want to write that down.
I haven't got it yet.
He hasn't got it yet.
You can write down that you have that available to you.
I don't think I know the exact funds that from the compensation.
Yeah, you
Do
do.
I?
Yeah. The prince said it was 30,000, but you've effectively spent 7,000 of it with Matthias to get the rod that was used to resurrect Quill.
Right. Well,
expensive bird.
Expensive bird. So I could check on Arvel, but I'm not sure how much power is left. Like after a week, I'll be able to use it again, but only 3 times I can use this thing.
Can't you send a message?
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to see Callie's Rest. I've got sending prepared.
So send a message to
message to
Arvel.
Arvel.
Use the eye to see Callie's Rest.
Sorted.
Fine. Okay.
I don't understand.
Oh no, it has to be a target.
The eye or the...
The eyes.
Okay.
So I can't.
Particular
I don't think I
creature
can-
you choose. That's what I was literally about to look up.
Yeah, because he might not be at Callie's Rest anymore.
No, he might
Why
be
don't
dead.
you just send him a message and ask him what went down at Callie's Rest? Boom! 2 birds, 1 spell.
Yeah?
pardon the pun.
Definitely.
One spell, one bird.
What does Sentry think to all of this conversation? She's just staying quiet. She's like,
Oh, like,
She's still got a plate on her face.
yeah. Well, I think she'd like to know what's going on, like Starbane and all that
Yeah.
going down.
All that jazz.
All that jazz.
okay.
What's crack-a-lacking?
Crack-a-lacking in old Callie's Rest.
Okay, I just didn't know if we might want to use the eye for anything in the future, but fine.
What's the plan?
Sending.
Quill, what do you do?
Going to try to scry on Arvel.
What is your spell save DC?
It is Wisdom 15.
Wisdom 15. You are familiar with the target,
Yes.
so he has a -5 to his save. Do you have a connection? Do you have a likeness or picture? No.
We've got
I
memory.
know if I could draw one,
Do you have a possession
Maybe.
or garment?
right? Maybe.
I don't think so.
Body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, or the like?
No.
Okay.
No one took any skin scrapings from him.
So it's just a
or-
-5 to his saving throw. Yeah.
I guess he doesn't know.
Ooh. So I rolled a 15, -5 because you know him well.
Okay.
So he gets 10.
Perfect.
Plus his wisdom is 2, so 12. So he fails.
Okay.
So.
If they succeed,
Yes.
does it expend a charge?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
It's not like the other two abilities.
fine.
Because scrying is a very specific spell.
Because you're being a sneaky little shit.
Am I just going to see him like asleep? It's early morning.
At least that means he's alive.
So, I need to figure it out because you guys have been gone for, I think, 10 days.
What a week. Oh my gosh.
It's been a real bad time.
Wish my weeks were this productive.
Productive.
Okay. Right. So, Quill. The rush of the clouds fills your vision once again. But now you know that you are not looking through the past or into the future, but rather across the current world. Your vision seems to swoop, not unlike that of a bird's, as it sails across the land, across sea, across mountains, until it comes to rest in a very well-furnished room, lavish in some ways, where you see a dwarven man, tired, haggard-looking, but alive. He pulls himself from bed, and you see that his first instinct is to grab a bottle of something on a bedside table.
Oh no.
He takes a long drink, coughs a few times, then begins getting dressed. You see him go over to a desk and start working on some papers. They look like merchant orders or bills of sale, perhaps. He doesn't wear his hat. It seems to be hung up on a coat rack next to him. But yeah, I mean, how long are you going to watch him for?
Does the room look anything like that of Callie's Rest?
No. It looks much more well furnished, and it seems to be more homely to Arvel. He goes about it as if he owns it. You know, he doesn't. He treats it as if this is his place.
Okay. And he's just
He appears to be working.
working.
Yeah. Although it's immediately obvious that he is unhappy. He is. Yeah. He looks dejected. He looks.
How long can I scry for? Up to 10 minutes.
There you go. Yeah. So in that 10 minutes, I say, you see him working on a few papers. Maybe there is a knock at the door. He goes up to answer it. There is a young dwarven girl there. He kind of like exchanges some words because I don't think you can hear through it. Just check.
It's my eye.
Yeah. But you check. He exchanges a few words and then she leaves.
Oh, I can hear through it.
Okay. So you basically hear like, hello, and then he's like, all right. He's like, yeah, come in, sweetheart. And she's like, are you all right? And he's like, yeah, just working through those bills of sale. Did the Cherry Tree Company get through? And she's like, yes, I've got their reports here. Just don't forget that you do need to come and speak with the other merchant lords today. And he's like, yep, that's it's later this afternoon, right? Yes, that's just after the 7th bell. All right, yeah, I'll be there. All right, good day. Shuts the door, and you just hear him kind of.
While I'm doing that, while I'm scrolling on him, can I cast another spell?
What are you going to cast? Sending?
Sending.
In theory, no. You have to finish the scry before you can cast sending. Because you're still casting a spell even though it's using the eye.
So it's a concentration spell. Oh, the casting time is 10 minutes, and the concentration is up to 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
is it that it takes 10 minutes to cast, and then 10 minutes after that is the duration in which I'm watching him?
For scrying?
Yeah.
No, I think it's while you're concentrating on the spell.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'll just, come out of it then.
You can't basically be like, hey Quill, hey Arvel, it's me Quill. Can you hold up a sign saying where you are? You can't do that.
Yeah, okay, fine. Fair enough.
Knock once for yes.
Yeah.
You could have sent him a message, being like, "Hey, about to scry on you, buddy. Let me in.
Put some pants on.
Hi, how's it going?"
You can do that, but you can't do it while you're scrying.
Fine, fair enough.
So do you want to cast Sending, and then we'll take a break after?
Yeah,
cast Sending?
I'll come out of the scry then, because I have to.
Okay.
And just say to him 25 words. He knows who's sending it, right?
Yes, he'll hear your voice.
We're okay.
I won't count because I'm not mean.
How's Kelly's rest? We're in Gusthaven. One word.
All safe. I know we.
Are you all safe?
Been a long journey.
Got teleported.
Talk to you later. Things are
Well, we're in
shit.
Gusthaven, I said that.
We have a goblin. Really
Is-
fucking bad
5,
week.
6, 7, 8.
Is it safe to come back? Love Quill. 25.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
XO.
XO.
Nova says hi.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm still at 6
19?
words.
I counted that badly.
Well, I'm assuming we're is not we are.
One,
I'm
yeah.
doing it as we're.
Oh,
We're okay. How's Kaylee's rest? We're in Gusthaven. Been a long journey. Is it safe to come back? Yeah, 6. You got 6 words left.
Okay, love you, bye.
Love Quill.
After. Is it safe to come back after. What's his name?
Starbane!
Starbane. In the
Cathedral.
cathedral.
Okay.
How many left?
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
And with that, we're going to take our break.
Damn.
Sure.
We'll be back with Arvel's response. See you in
Okay.
5 minutes.
Awesome.
WTF!
Butts. Hello.
But
Welcome back.
Butts.
The High Rollers. We're at D&D show. It's a lot of fun. I hope you're enjoying it. I am.
Yeah.
I should have spent that break working out what Arvel was going to say. Instead, I was wrestling with trying to order food for later on.
Great.
So
Professional.
I'm gonna figure it out right now. So before the break, the party have been discussing what they would like to do. They are currently in the Sky City of Gusthaven, and Quill had just scryed on their old companion, Arvel Dagus, the dwarven merchant that you travelled with for a long time. I forgot what his surname was for some time, but I've just remembered.
I had it.
So,
shoulder.
you, after a few moments, you get back the message.
What the hell?
Can someone make me a sneak plush?
Okay, the message.
This is going to be real rough. I might retroactively change things as I say them.
Okay, fine.
By the stars,
Great.
because he doesn't know that there's a word limit. By the stars, Quill, you're alive. I think that's 6.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm like saying this to everyone else as it comes in as well.
What happened?
Useless. Great. Okay.
Where's Vala?
Oh.
Is she with you? How many words am I up to?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Where are the stars?
13, 14.
14. I mean, he doesn't know that there's a word limit, but I'm just kind of like, you
I'm at
spoke
10.
in very broken things, so...
10. What 14 have you got?
By the stars.
You also didn't know that you were like 6 short, so I don't
Yeah.
trust you.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Just don't write anymore, Tom.
What do you mean, Starbane?
You haven't written it.
Kaylee's rest was fine.
Starbane.
I'm back in Goldthrone.
Kaylee's rest was fine.
I'm back in Goldthrone.
Gold.
Love Arvel. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Right, so
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is I'm back.
So there you don't get
I'm
got
back.
through. You just get I'm back, and then it ends.
and then he
Yes,
spends
who's
another
back?
5 minutes talking still.
Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, he absolutely would. Like he's just like, blah, 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 blah. Quill.
Well, I'm not going to send him another message. Like, well, I could, but
Well, you what? Sorry.
So I guess Katie's rest is fine still. If he's been Goldthrone, he might not know about it, but he doesn't know anything about Starbane.
What? How's it fine? He was there.
What do you mean?
He's probably amassing armies in Kaylee's rest.
Did he do something to make some people forget that he arrived, maybe? I don't know. Well, they were underground. Nobody in Kaylee's rest would have seen him. He could have come in through the gate and then just not done anything immediately.
He's probably being secretive.
Yes.
So Arvel, not able to find Vala,
Went home.
probably went home and doesn't know what's happened.
We also don't know what happened in the
Stop
cathedral
it!
after we left.
Delicious.
But from the sounds of it, at the very least, what they were planning in a cathedral, we did stop. So there's that.
Yeah, we did make it worse though.
Did we?
Not-
I mean, the racist abatess is...
But
The purge didn't happen.
Exactly.
Hadar.
No purge, and as yet, no Starbane or Hadar.
Technically, Starbane's trying to
But
stop
he's
Hadar.
talking to Nova.
Do we know that?
Arvel's
Yeah,
fine.
she told us.
I told you.
Little victories. Arvel's
Arvel's
alive.
alive! Hey!
How did he look?
He looked tired, and he was, well, drinking the moment he got up, but I don't think that's unusual.
That's just Arvel.
That's just Arvel. And he didn't look happy, I'll say that much. But he's in Goldthrone. We know he's in Goldthrone.
He doesn't know anything about Valor.
We don't know he's in
You
Gold
don't know
Throne,
you was
the
going to put that. That was cut off.
Oh,
He just
I'm
goes,
back.
I'm back,
Speculating.
and then nothing.
But he's where he was. It looked like it was his home, maybe, or at least it was filled with his possessions anyway. And unless he's made some kind of home away from home in Kelly's Rest, which is pointless
Doubtful.
because Gold Throne is so close.
I think he may have noticed something going wrong in Kelly's Rest if he was there.
I mean, if all of us just vanished, as far as he's concerned, we went to the Abbey and then just didn't come out again.
He might have assumed we just died.
How far is Callie's Rest from Gold Throne?
I believe that you still had 3 or 4 days of travel.
So he probably stayed a week and then, or half a week.
I reckon he must have gone through that cathedral looking for Valor and us, only to give up and leave.
Well, he could have been turned away.
Yeah.
He would have said that, though, if there was something strange.
There was also all the field wardens that were backing us up there as well. Maybe
True.
they investigated after we didn't come out.
That is true. There's probably a lot of unrest after what we did.
But no purge.
Know what?
No purge.
Well,
Just starving.
are we
Just
sure?
a world ending.
And Hedora.
Yeah.
But not a city destroyed by Starbane.
No.
We did a good.
Just
Is this a win? This doesn't feel like a
No,
win.
it's never a
it
win.
doesn't feel like a
Not
win.
with us.
No.
I'm
What?
just saying it also doesn't feel like a loss. Doesn't feel like a win, though. You're right. It feels pretty bad. But
Do we tell him about Vala? Do we tell him about Starbane?
Well, we did say the word Starbane. Don't think we should maybe say anything about Vala because, you know, it's a limited message, right? What can
Yeah.
we convey to him? I
Well-
think that's an in-person conversation.
also, we don't really want a gun-toting, crossbow-toting
He's
dwarf
gonna
to
go
go
mental.
marching up to Abbey looking for Starbane.
Or
He
Vala?
can use guns. He knows how to use them.
Crossbow-toting at the moment,
Yeah.
That we know of.
that we know.
He's gonna get a temper and he's gonna do something dumb, and it's a bad idea.
What if we told a white lie
What's
and
the
said
lie?
Vala is safe? Because she's safe with Starbane.
I did say that we're safe. I think if we leave it at that, he might just
But
be
he
happy
did
to
say,
assume.
"Is Vala with you?"
Yeah.
He explicitly asked the question about Vala.
We could just ignore that.
I like that, saying Vala is safe.
We'll just leave the
Dot, dot,
message on
dot.
red.
Leave him on red.
Yeah.
We'll get back to him.
Arvel's a hardy man.
Exactly. And if he's in Gold Throne, he'll be with the trading company, so he'll have all of these resources at his disposal.
He will also be able to. Yeah, no, I'm just.
We need to keep him out of harm's way.
Exactly. We don't need him to be jumping on any airships to go anywhere. We just need to.
Going on a one-dwarf crusade.
Yeah,
He would.
he probably would.
He absolutely would.
It depends what our next plan is.
I think gathering power, such as an Eterna, is a good idea. I also think
We need to go to the bank.
transport. Yes, I need to get money, and we need to consider this airship idea that I've got.
Okay.
Do we want to do that?
I think so.
I hate them a lot.
But it means we could get around a lot faster.
That's true.
Without devices that Piri has, we can't get around.
I agree with you there.
Well, we could use teleportation circles with the money I've got, but that limits us to places that have teleportation.
Yeah.
It's also, you know, in purely business sense, they're not cheap to use them. They're expensive to have it cast on you.
Not to
so
mention-
it's like just throwing money at the problem rather than like something you can reuse.
And we can get
Plus, I want you to have an airship.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think we
we
will
can
do.
get places that people don't suspect.
We need to.
But that was the other thing. Teleportation circles are fixed locations.
If someone's chasing us and they know that we're using teleportation circles, they could send somebody to the location or the destination, should I
Can
say.
we name the ship?
Yes, of course.
We'll think of that a little bit.
It needs to be built. It's
We haven't even
custom.
who we are.
So maybe I get this money and we start that process straight away under a pseudonym. I said it in a fancy word.
You did.
Well done.
Nanny taught me that one.
But also, in terms of hating skyships, if we are all in charge of this thing, mostly Lucius, obviously, then the threats.
If I'm in a skyship and it fucking crashes again, I'm
just,
out.
I'm just saying, the crew
We can
will
take precautions.
be aware of the threat with
Don't worry.
precautions.
You can kick Lucius's butt.
I advise that whenever we're on the airship, we all have the parachutes already on us, so that the next time there's a little bit of hope.
I can just.
Sure.
I think that's a good safety procedure.
I can just misty step away and I can just teleport and be like, I'm out.
Like
Bye.
30 feet.
I can't
That's
do
30
that.
feet, yeah.
but if we're crashing,
There is an interesting argument of like, I'm gonna wait until I'm 30 feet away from the ground
And then
cast
miss
Misty
bam.
Step.
But
And
would
there's-
you not already be going at that speed and would
Yeah,
you land
that-
there?
I think that's the point where I'd be like, roll initiative to see how quickly
see-
your reactions can be.
The ground
So do you not
beats you.
have momentum?
And that's the next question is when you teleport, do you keep the momentum at which you're moving at?
that's interesting.
Because if you did and you just Misty Step sideways, you just go. "Ah!" But
Super
hey,
fast.
that's a question for another time.
I am
Anyway,
speed.
what's the plan now?
Holy shit, it'd be really cool if you're like skydiving.
No, stop talking. It's not.
Okay.
Just stop.
I'm just thinking, if stuff is flying towards you and you're trying to dodge stuff, you just Misty Step to the side.
I don't believe with Misty Step it would, but there is a spell called Arcane Gate, which is basically the portals from Portal, where you create two portals and anything that goes in one
yes,
comes out the other one.
Speedy thing goes
So
in.
basically, like I would keep
Portal
Speedy
Zone.
Thing go in, Speedy Thing go out. But moving on.
Anyway,
Let's reply to Arvel at least.
Yeah.
Tell him Vala is safe.
Being a real shitter of a week.
That.
Very important.
okay.
What happened in Callie's Rest after we disappeared? P.S. Message limit 25 words.
Okay. So yeah, so I'll cast
Smart.
sending again
Yep.
on him
Yep.
and say, message limit 25 words. Is 25?
25 words.
But I said it really quickly.
Nope.
So 25. Damn it. Vala is safe. What happened in Callie's Rest after we left? How many's left?
That was
You're
18,
not-
I think.
16.
I'm on the same as
16?
him.
No, you didn't count the start message that you said.
So 16.
You're a 16.
10 words.
Stop counting.
Well, 9 words.
9 words.
I love how every D&D group right now is like, sending. Go and count these fucking words.
I could just leave it at that.
You don't have to use all of the words.
You don't have to, no.
After we. What happened at Callie's Rest after we disappeared? Okay.
Tell him to
That's it?
keep
That's
safe.
the message?
Tell him to keep safe.
Also, don't do anything stupid.
Sure, it's like 20, 21. All right, okay. You get a bit of time. So, what happened in Callie's Rest after we left?
Vala's safe.
Vala's
25 words.
Okay. Nothing happened. Y'all vanished. Few days later, Harvest Guard investigated is one word.
Investigate. Syllables.
Investigated, found nothing, just bodies. Didn't know what happened to y'all. Glad you're okay. Thanks.
Nice.
So there you go.
He's going to now assume that Vala's with us.
Yep.
White lie, bitch.
Let's go to the
For the
banky.
best.
I'll get the money. I will also say that the monthly running cost of an airship is quite expensive. So we need a little bit of leeway. If I get the compensation, that should cover that for a good year. 1,500 a month for the base airship that we're going for.
That covers the wages for the staff, general maintenance, docking fees. So if you go to a place, you don't need to worry about like, oh, you're gonna pay 100 gold to dock here. It's just that's covered in that
Okay.
monthly cost.
Okay.
A continent worth of travel's worth 300 golds of fuel as well.
Okay.
So we just need a safety fund, which I can provide with compensation that I'll get from the expenses and whatnot.
As a general reminder as well, you technically still own the land that the estate was on.
Could you rent that out?
Yeah. And well, Lucius would know this. Well, maybe
I'm going
not
to bottle
Lucius.
up some ash.
You can't rent it privately. You can rent it to either the state of Gusthaven, or you can sell it to the state of Gusthaven, and they'll basically build something on that land that they would then use. Maybe like a farm, or they build like housing on it, or they build like a workshop and get people to work there.
Careful.
Because the land is so necessary.
Valuable.
Do we want a base of operations in Gusthaven?
You
I mean-
can also privately have anything you want built on that land. You own
Sounds
it.
like a good idea.
That.
I
And now,
think that's a good thing to do, but currently, the Elenastros are under target from this group of shitheads. So,
how about
can we put like a pin it, and at some point when they're gone, do that?
How about we use it as a deception? So some other family or whatever buys the land and starts letting it out, and our base of operations is underneath that in a basement.
Secret base.
I like the idea of that.
And the whole thing is a facade.
You would need to arrange that privately with one of the noble houses. And I can tell you the noble houses that exist, but you would need
I'll go to the most trustworthy one,
I guess the
if I'm going to do that.
You could just talk to the Sky Prince, right?
Well, do you want the Sky Prince to know about it is the next question. So the thing is I'm guessing that Lucius wouldn't go to the Magronas and sell them the land.
Hell no.
Exactly. So you have a couple of choices. If that was something that you would like to do and basically have some sort of secret alliance with a noble house.
Can I do all these things without taking up too much time?
Yeah, absolutely.
RL.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll go to the banky.
You go to the bank, you have your arcane mark, that proves you are Lucius Verenor Elenasto.
Trying to be like going there. I'm being quite quiet until I get to the front desk, and then I'm like,
well, basically, yeah. You show them that, and they're like, oh yeah, and then they have a very well kept elven woman who comes out, who is basically like a, what do you call it? Like when you have like a premium account and you get your own personal kind of like assistant. They come out and they're like, oh yes, Master Elenasto, of course. Yes, there has been a significant deposit has been made into your account by several other families.
do you mind if we, obviously considering the sum of money, I don't want to attract too much attention.
Yes.
Could we go somewhere? Do you have any private
Yes, of course,
meeting
yeah.
rooms?
They'll take you to a private meeting room. You've proved your identity. They can do this a number of ways. If you want to go and start the process of building an airship, you could come back to the bank and say, I'm authorizing you to transfer, like a payment transfer to this company.
I know the company already, right?
Yeah, Lillian Sprocket shipping.
So what I'll say is that can we allot a certain amount of money to
them.
prepare for a transfer,
Yes.
and then that company will contact the bank and say,
And then the only thing
Send
is
it.
you might need to just provide an approval, like come in and say, yes, I approve
Okay.
this payment. The rest of it, what they can do is you can keep it here in Gusthaven, and they can just basically keep it for you, and then you can withdraw at like an amount now and do what you want. You can have it traded in, like you have it pressed into like gold bars, and you can just carry a bunch of gold bars around with you. It's quite heavy, and you'd be carrying a lot of money if anything happened to you. Or you can have it in gemstones. Like you can basically have that money as you kind of need it, because the bank can provide that.
I'm going to do an intelligence check.
Sure.
13.
13.
Is that intelligent?
I mean, it's above average. Not by much, but...
What I'll do is keep half of it in the bank, whatever's left over.
So if you want to have 30,000 set aside for the airship,
airship.
so that would put 14,000 left, so you could take 7,000 now.
Yeah.
Yep.
What I'll do is get that put into jewel crafting. So what I'll do is go to an artisan jewel crafter, get that put into different jewelry, and then that will be deposited in the bank for now, but I want to move that into the secret base eventually.
So do you want to keep 7,000 on you as gemstones? Or do you want to keep 7,000 in the bank as gemstones?
Yes, that. They'll store that.
It's like a modern bank where they just say on their accounts, they're like, yeah, you are owed this amount, and then they've got a big fucking vault full of gold bars and jewelry that accounts for their wealth. And then they just say like, yeah, we owe you this amount.
Collateral damage in case.
Well, the collateral damage is like, I mean, if anybody takes the bank, all of it will go.
Is that what I mean? That's why
they'll just take whatever, right?
So,
it doesn't matter whether it's in jewelry or gold or coins or whatever. They'll just take it. It's what you have on your person that's going to matter more. Because 7,000 gold coins, that's fucking huge bag and it's very heavy. If you want to say, I'm going to take out 7,000 gold and have 7,000 gold diamonds in a bracelet that I keep on me, you could do that.
How much would it cost to start building and clearing the land?
Well, so that's another question, right? Because it depends on how you want to do it. You own the land. If your idea is that you're going to go to a noble house, another one of the noble houses of Gusthaven, and say, I am going to privately sell you my land, that you can build on it, as long as we can build something in the basement, and you don't ask too many questions.
As a contract of secrecy.
You can do that, so they'll cover the cost of building the main building, they will... Now, do you want them to pay you for the land as well? Or are you just going to basically say, I'll give you the land if you let us build under it in secret?
I want it under.
How much negotiation do you want to do?
I want it under a leasehold. I own it, and then I'm renting out the building space to
But they get to basically claim that they've built it in
Yes.
their name. You're a secret
Publicly,
landlord.
it's their land.
Okay.
But really, I'm the leaseholder, and I'm renting the space to them.
For a set amount.
Yes.
Okay. So this is how this is going to work. I want you to make 3 persuasion checks for me. Because this is going to represent your negotiating ability with them over time. And the total of like the 3 checks, if you get over certain amounts, will depend on how much you get and how well this is kept.
18 plus 7.
So 25,
25.
first one.
Can I just stop?
No, you've got to. I want to see all 3.
15 plus 7.
22.
22. 13 plus 7. 20.
20.
Nice.
You got over 20 on all 3 checks. You get everything you want.
Oh my
So
god.
you're going to get everything you
Wow,
want. So
nice.
they will pay you.
This is for you, Daddy!
It's for you. So, and we'll in a minute we're going to discuss which noble family. But basically, what you're going to get out of this, and the only one you can't choose is the Magroners. They're the only family that you can't really go to. Also, you'd probably be better off going to one of the minor noble houses rather than the big. Noble
Yeah, I don't want it
houses.
to be like a big deal.
Okay, so you can go to one of. There's 3 minor noble houses.
What I might do is go to the ones, the assets of the company were sold to one of
It was split amongst 3.
3 houses.
Yeah.
What I might do to make it less inconspicuous, make it more inconspicuous, is go to one of those families.
They're all 3 big houses.
Shit.
So they're,
In my
they're big
mouth.
ones.
Okay.
It's up to you. You can still go to that. You can still go to the Etherons or the the Magroners, the Etherons, and then the Perels, or the 3 that. But they're the 3 big families.
Oh, I won't
And,
go to those.
Did
I'll
you
go
have
to
a
mine.
good working relationship with the Aetherons?
only with Matthias. He's the only ones you've spoken to.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
he was kind of like, he didn't.
He was
really
a
have
minor.
control.
Yeah, he was very much.
family.
His brother is very much the
Yeah.
one in control, and his brother's a bit of a cold. He's a bit of a hard businessman.
Wanker.
Yeah. Well, basically, what you're going to get is you will get, let's say, per month, you will get 800 gold from this family,
Shit.
like as a rent for the land.
Okay. How are we going to do that?
You just ate every month,
mean-
in every in-game month.
I mean,
you
it's
get
been a
800
month
gold.
so far since we started.
Yeah, since
So-
it's taken a year.
In terms
for
of
us to get-
payment, they'll make a deposit in secret into your bank here on Gusthaven. You'll have to come back and get that money.
Okay.
Right?
It's fine because we'll have an airship.
Yeah. So
I guess we'll be taking.
in fact, no. We'll make it 1,000 gold. No, because it's per month. 800 gold. 800 gold per month. So they'll pay you that. They'll basically they'll construct their building, their manor, but it will be completely separated from the basement level, which you will have free access to control and build. And they will also handle the building in secret for you. So
Wow.
you just tell them what you want and give them the money, and then they'll sort the contractors out. So it's less suspicious.
I also want a different building company to do the underneath part from the guys that are building the surface.
It's like Breaking Bad now.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want it to be hidden underneath a washing machine.
And I want all the ones that built the one underneath to die.
You can't have that.
No, I don't want that.
Right. So we'll talk about which noble family you're going to. You're basically, and by making this deal, you are forming a formal alliance with this noble house. You are working with them because they'll have leverage over you. They're going to know that you've got something going on under their house, but you're also going to know, well, I own your fucking manor house now. Like I own the land that it's built on. So there's 3 choices.
As a trade of goodwill, I'm going to give them the prototype briefcase.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. That's great. Okay. All right, and that's as a gesture of goodwill.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming in with a deal with.
Okay, so you have 3 choices. None of them are Ethereum houses, but they can still use that prototype. So you have the choice of House Namus. House Namus is primarily focused on agricultural needs of the city. They have the largest and best orchards in Greenborough. They make use of druidic magic. They create wine, which is regarded across almost all of Aerois. They're vinters. So they're not Ethereum money, but they're still good money. They're a very rich, affluent house, House Namus. House Eleonore, which is seen as a minor house. They're not very rich, but they're heavily reliant on the city's provisions. Well, they have great pride in their work maintaining the climate ward, which is the weather system that keeps Gusthaven's weather the way it is.
Okay.
So they're not very rich, and they don't have lots of like material wealth, but they've got a lot of influence because they control this kind of really important thing that the city needs.
Make it rain on someone.
They could just basically be like, no, we're not gonna. Yeah, we're like gonna
Fuck you, it
make
rains
it
on
miserable.
your house, always. Always!
And then the last minor house is House Verenor. House Verenor was known for their craftsmanship and owning land. Without many members of magical talent, they missed out on the Ethereum trade, but they turned its skill towards another vital element, housing and refurbishing buildings. So they're mainly architects, masons, that sort of thing. So they would probably make their own, they'd probably construct their house themselves. And then they could also privately have your work done through contractors.
Could Nova help with a decision by maybe like go reading up on the houses and like put a report together for Lucius? Or
Yeah, that's the information I just gave you.
Yeah.
You're not going to find any like super family secrets in any immediate
I'll
time.
sit down with Nova and be like, what do you think out of these 3 portfolios?
Yeah, you can guess. At this point, it's more, you've basically got one which is very rich. So this is the way to think about it. One house which is very good at making money and is very rich. One house which has quite a lot of political influence but isn't very particularly wealthy. So maybe they'll have problems making that payment, on a regular basis. And then the third house is kind of in the middle. It's not really rich, it doesn't have a lot of influence, but they're probably the best ones to keep your building secret and they can complete it.
I think I might go with the
quickly.
Masons,
Yep.
only because
House
I
Verenor.
feel like they're not going to draw too much attention to themselves as well as make an actual good building.
Okay. And because I don't have much information about these houses, who is the leader of this house? Who is it? Is it like a matriarch? Is it a mother? Is it like a female figure, a male figure?
Let's go with a female figure.
Yep.
3 sisters.
Okay, 3 sisters who run the family.
Yeah.
Sure, perfect. Okay. So the Verenor sisters, they're basically they run the house together. Okay, yeah. So you have now entered into a formal kind of alliance with House Verenor. They agree to the terms. They'll pay 800 gold. They'll also build the structure for you, so you don't need to pay any money to have. But it will be unfurnished. They're basically going to build you a series of rooms that you can choose to do with what you want. And if you want to hire staff, that's going to be your money. But you're also
Okay.
going to have the airship. So
Sounds great.
okay.
I make the
all
deal.
right.
Okay. How long is this taking?
We're gonna hand wave some time because I'm also assuming that you want to go and put in your order for your airship, which we're gonna have to do in a minute as well.
Yeah.
And then Nova, you want to go to the library.
The
The what?
Trade
Barons.
district.
But it's funny because there's a library there.
There is.
In the Temple of Hesper.
Fuck.
Don't worry.
To the library!
I was gonna have Tiangong basically.
Point
You
the
can do like a
directions,
divine
yeah.
rod of like, where is it?
It's
That's
in
it.
the Imperium Archives.
So what we'll say is that while Lucius is doing that, you can leave him to it, or you can leave a bodyguard with him while Nova goes to look for this Eterna.
Bodyguard.
So you're going to bodyguard Lucius.
Sure.
So
With Smeek.
While that goes on with Smeek. So you're kind of doing a lot of this. You're going to the bank, and then you're kind of setting up these plans.
I'm like, oh, we have to go over here now. And I'm
We'll
just-
do the airship stuff as a big group because
Yeah.
there's going to be some group elements of you guys getting to create the crew and stuff as
A
well.
library on the airship.
Smeek's the captain.
Maybe. But we'll do the... So, in Farron's Fortune, the trade district of Gusthaven, one of the largest buildings is an enormous temple to Hesper. His holy symbol, the winged book with the single open eye, dominates the stone visaged front of the building. It is one of the largest buildings you've seen. When the Sundering destroyed much of Aerois, a lot of the history of the world was kind of lost. The cities crumbled, fell into the sea, they became ruins, buried beneath earth. But with the Sky Cities, a lot of it was preserved. Over time, the Imperium Archives, the Empyrean Archives, have become the greatest repository of written knowledge in Aerois. As serving as a temple to Hesper, the god of knowledge and magic, their dedication is that the annals of destiny will not be forgotten again. Many disciples of Hesper bring their scholarly work here. This is a huge library. This is the kind of library where you don't just go in and be like, where's the Eterna section? It's walls of just scrolls and parchments. And whilst it is categorized, you need the assistance of the priests of Hesper to help you find stuff. Also, it's everything. It's not just important, like, tell me where the Blade of Galgoth is. It's like turnip farming, a guide written by A. Plumbus. You know, it's like there's just loads of garbage here as well.
I love that guy.
A. Plumbus.
I love A. Plumbus.
Aaron Plumbus.
Very consistent work.
He's he loves farming. He loves
Gone.
it.
I'm really hoping Mark has written down A. Plumbus, and we'll just find like the
I
works
want
of A.
that novel.
Plumbus.
Can
A.
I
Plumbus.
say to Nova before she
Agriculture.
goes, if I'm staying with Lucius,
Sure.
can I ask if she can look up anything to do with clan?
No.
If you, because you said that you would if we were in a library.
Don't worry, I got you, boo.
In terms of, again, because we don't need to roleplay every interaction. This library is huge, so there's a couple of options here. If there are specific subjects you want to learn about, you will need to research them. Researching subjects takes time and it takes money, because you basically have to pay, a donation to the temple to say, I want your scholars to help me research this subject. And that is, they'll spend the day like going and finding books, but also the books can't be taken out of the library. You have to copy everything down here. And that's going to represent that. So it depends on the subject you want to research. It depends on A, how hard it is, how much money you have to spend, and how long it takes you. But it might be that you can ask, if there's a certain subject, they might have a specialist and they might be, hey, come and speak to this person, and we'll have like a role-playing encounter. Sorry to get meta about it, but that's just how
I figured
all
that
work.
this entire section is like just a massive passing of time. We're kind of montaging it a bit.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are the main things Nova wants to find out about?
Well, first of all, when I kind of get in there into a quiet corner, can I talk with Tiangong and see if they can tell me like a vague direction or like...
This building. So you get the sense that there is an Eterna in this building somewhere. He can't communicate anything more complicated than that, like direction or distance or strength. Just, you know that there's somewhere in this temple, in this huge library, there is an Eterna.
Okay. What would it cost to research 4 things in terms of money and time? Do you want to know what those...
Yeah, just tell me the subjects.
So, any notes on Hadar? More about Starbane, including Zarkira, Ayla's clan, and anything written by Dean Alessandra Vastra on Eterna.
Okay,
And
so,
A. Plumbus.
and then the Lair de Lan is the...
Lair de Lan.
Lair de Lan is it's the name of the collective clans of Ayla's type. And then you want to know about Alessandra Vastra.
Anything, if there's any papers
So,
written by her.
before we go into the other subjects, because I'll need to do some thinking about that and provide the information, and it will take in-game time. When you mention Alessandra Vastra, the young, let's say, human priest of Hesper who is helping you, is like, you seek Dean Alessandra Vastra.
Yes.
Well, she is here, but you should be warned that if you wish to speak with her, I would advise you to be cautious.
What?
She is not well.
Oh.
There is a magical affliction, but she is here if you are so inclined to speak with her.
Yes, please. I would love an audience with her.
Is it just yourself? Do your companions wish to come with you? I assume at this point Quill and Sentry are with you.
Oh, we are there.
I'm assuming so, because I'm assuming Lucius is just with you.
I mean, if I find out that Nova's going to the Temple of Hesper, then I'm
right in there.
So while I've got you two there, is there anything you guys want to research independently as well?
I'd like to research anything about the City of Glass or Volcanos, or look at anything about Solvin in these scripture.
I'd probably, be interested in the City of Glass as well.
Plates and how to warm them.
A Plumbus, again.
A. Plumbus.
Oh man, I love that guy.
Oh my goodness.
Keep them over a
100
steady
uses,
flame.
100 uses for a warm plate. A Plumbus.
Oh man,
Quill?
I want that book.
Well, the difference with you, Quill, is they recognize you as a priest of Hesper here. You can actually make yourself available to this as a place of worship. You can conduct rituals here if you need to. They will provide you with aid as long as it's not immensely financial.
Yeah.
So if you want scrolls, they can potentially provide you with scrolls if you need them. And
Would my history as a cloistered scholar help with any of this?
Yes, it will.
So it says I have library access.
it will reduce the cost and it will help you. But again, this is stuff where I'm going to need some time to actually
research, yeah.
tell you this is going to be and how well it's going to be. But just
Paying
before we
Mark
do this
for Mark's
encounter,
time building this world.
Yeah, to actually write it.
you can have a think. You don't have to decide
World
now.
building fee.
Yeah, I don't really think there's
Columbus.
unless there's like some maps of like Voxar of like.
Thing with the Temple of Hesper, as he is a god of knowledge, there are maps. You are more likely to find maps with the Messenger Guild.
Yeah. Okay.
That's their job.
Yeah.
The job of the Temple of Hesper is to kind of contain written knowledge and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Look up
I'll
something in the
assist
monster
with
manual, don't worry.
I'll assist with the City of Glass
I'm gonna get
and
attacked by a monster in the library. It's a library!
The attendant of Hesper
Wait.
is like, you will need to follow me, if you would, please.
okay.
I would, yes, follow me.
I'm like visibly excited at this point. I'm like meeting a rock
He
star.
takes you to a back room and to a spiral staircase that goes down deep into a basement. He leads you down stone corridors, past restricted areas of the library and of the temple. He leads you down another set of stairs into a darker, stoner area of the temple.
Stoner area.
Stone area.
Stone area.
Whoa!
I hate
So
you
much knowledge, bro.
I hate you so much.
Why'd you think I'm so keen to go to the library?
Guys, you hotbox the basement.
And he leads you to a.
Not well.
He leads you to an iron door set into the corridor. Outside of which there is a bright globe, which is giving off like this bright, almost like sunlight, like it's like bright light right outside the door. And he looks at you and he says, "I will need to inform the Grand Dean that you wish to speak with Alessandra. You should be safe as long as her companion is in there with her. But I would advise that you stay close to the door."
You said she was sick. What?
Yes, she's been afflicted with vampirism.
Oh.
Okay.
She is still a dean, and Hesper has not relegated her from his sight.
Why did we split the party?
It's fine.
It was a library!
Yep.
Hesper has not relegated her from his sight, so she is still one of us, but we take precautions. She seems dedicated to her research, and we provide her with animal blood, but just be cautious.
Out of curiosity, does Tiangong get the sense the Eterna is here?
Closer.
Yeah.
Closer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking as Nova, it's probably hers, if she has one.
Maybe. He's like, good luck, and then he leaves to go and inform the Grand Dean of the
Okay, so what do we know about vampires?
Sentry is the only one who really would, because they were part of Zarkira's attack forces. So vampirism was something that Zarkira gave to her most trusted lieutenants to make them stronger, more powerful, to give them command over creatures of the night, and they were a force of of the Court of Shadows, basically.
Okay.
That's how you know them. You've probably seen people fight them, or you've heard of people fighting them.
Yeah.
Terrifying commanders on the battlefield, very difficult to kill, nearly impossible to kill.
Oh god.
Most of them would have chambers, coffin, rejuvenation chambers aboard Starbane ships. They're coffins, effectively.
Oh wow.
But they would be like chambers that they would go and reform into. So they're effectively immortal commanders of Zarkira's forces.
That's cool. That's cool and scary.
The Starbane himself, like the Court of Shadows, didn't deploy a lot of undead, but vampires were one of the types that he used. Was Zarkira used? You probably would have noted, because you were very involved in military matters, she and her forces were very separate to Callus in many cases. She would often go off and just attack with her own force separately to what he was doing. So there you go. In terms of, you don't know too much, you know that they don't like sunlight, that they are very resistant to weapons and things like that they can regenerate.
Is vampirism a curse?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I feel like someone would have tried that already. But
Yeah.
whatever. Well, Nova, you're going to have to forgive me, but who is she again?
Oh, the dean, Simon. Simon told us about her. She knows about Eterna.
Okay.
She's interviewed Eterna, and she's interviewed some of the Remnant, I think, as well. And she just knows lots of stuff about Eterna. And I kind of wonder if she might have one.
Are you willing to show her Tiangong?
That's a good point. I was going to say yes, but...
Don't look at me.
I feel like she might have been imprisoned here. If there's this orb of sunlight, she can't leave this room.
Would Sentry have told us about vampires?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as upon hearing that there is one in the next room,
Yeah.
I imagine Sentry is like,
They're nearly impossible to kill.
If vampires were a part of Zarkira's force, maybe a part of her is working. We know Zarkira is, well, her worshippers are in this world.
That's true.
I mean,
Could
but
be-
you also, I mean, Quill, you can't deny the fact that the attendant, like, he called her a dean, which means she's a priest or
Yeah.
a priestess of Hesper.
I mean,
He said that she was still following Hesper's light.
and that she is being sated. So,
It can't hurt to be cautious, at least.
yes.
We can't trust her,
Yeah.
at least
Maybe I
from
should.
what we've heard.
Maybe I should hide Tiangong.
At least for now. We'll gauge the reaction.
Do you think I should hide it outside, or?
Could I cast Arcanist's magic aura on it?
What does that do, Tom Hansel? Tell us.
So I placed
For podcast listeners.
I place an illusion on a creature or an object I touch, so that divination reveals false information about it. And I can give it a false aura, so that it doesn't even look magical anymore.
Bless
Yeah.
me.
So it would still be, like, physically it wouldn't change, but it would hide any magical aura.
Yeah, so it's a false aura or mask. So I think false aura is detect magic, and all of those things just don't work on it.
A mask would make it look like non-magical. A false aura would make it look like a different type of magic.
That's cool.
So you could basically make Tiangong just look like a magical sword.
I can make a magical object appear non-magical.
Yeah. There you go.
How
So you
long
can
does
just
it
make it look like Tiangong's
Or I
normal
can change
sword.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
24 hours.
I lost, 24 hours.
Interesting.
Sounds smart.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to cast that?
So you don't need to, well, you can
What's
hide it.
your spell save DC?
It's 15.
Okay. Yeah, so Quill reaches down, touches Tiangong, and
Was Tiangong resisting it? Weird.
you, Nova, get a sense of whatever, as you're kind of like feeling this connection, it kind of goes blank. Like, you know it's there, and you can still draw on your magic, your warlock power from the pact. You can't really feel Tiangong. Like, you can always feel him there, or them there.
It's numb.
Numb.
Oh, this is really strange.
So you can still hide
I
Tiangong.
feel like I've
and
lost my arm.
This just helps a bit more.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But he's still there. He's
Yeah.
still
No, that's fine. They.
safe. But it will at least stop that
Yeah.
concern.
Yeah. Okay.
It's worth going in. The risk outweighs the... Let's do
Reward.
it. Yeah, the
No,
reward outweighs...
the other
that
way
one.
around.
Should we go in?
Let's go in.
We go in.
Just to let Sid know, I have ordered food, so I'll
Great.
let you know. So, do you knock on the door, or are you just going to open the door?
Knock. I'm a polite
Okay,
girl.
so you knock, and you hear yes, come in.
Open the
Okay.
door.
Yeah.
Okay, you open the door, and you see that there is like a thick black curtain, almost like an antechamber, that you step in, and the sunlight orb from outside kind of hits inside. Please, we'll make sure you close the door behind you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
No, it's all right, Sid. I'll just let you know if it rings.
Okay.
So you shut the door behind you.
Yeah.
Okay. You shut the door behind you. The sunlight suddenly goes away. There is a dull blue light from some glowing orbs in the ceiling. But the curtain, the black curtain antechamber, is suddenly drawn back. And standing in front of you is a 6'4", slightly glowing, armored warrior that has a leonine feature, so almost like a lion man. With a kind of lion-like face, a huge mane of golden, fur, and his armor is slightly glowing. He holds a big spear in one hand, and his armor is beautifully intricate, carved and detailed. And he just sort of looks down at you.
He sounds hot. Oh, he sounds hot.
He kind of just looks down.
What?
It's a lion.
Yeah.
The line.
He's a lion man.
In this
That's
world,
not any better.
My apologies.
He's a lion
funny
man.
lady.
Sure.
I don't judge.
Be careful. Alessandra. They seem fine. And then he kind of steps back. And as he steps back, you can see at the far end of the room, a very lavish, kind of decorated room with a large four-poster bed, desk, piles of books everywhere. You see, she can't be more than in her 30s when you see her, but very pale, long, dark hair, like blood-red lips, an elven woman, high elven, so long ears like Lucius's, in a very sort of like, very fitting blue dress of Hesper. You can see that our holy symbol is kind of tied around her wrist and kind of dangles loose. And she appears to be flicking through a book, and she has a wine glass filled with a dark red liquid. And then she turns and kind of like sees you all, and her eyes are blood red. Like rather than being colored irises, they're just like red with black.
Oh, cool.
So they look very striking against her pale skin. Ah! Excellent. Do we have some more tutors, students that wish to learn? Please come in. Do not be afraid. I'm sure that the man outside gave you some clarifying speech about my cures.
Yes.
Do not worry. Helios here will not let me hurt you, will you, Helios? That was our agreement.
Perfect. Well, Nova?
Helios, that's a cool name.
How can I help you?
Greek mythology, yes.
Oh! A guardian! Oh, how fascinating. I have not seen many of you walking around, mainly bodies inside or non-functional ones, remains in battlefields across Aerois. It's fascinating. What is your name?
My name's Sentry.
Ah, Sentry. Very interesting. Is that the crest of Solvin?
That is how.
Ah, very interesting.
Do you?
I'm a student of history, dear guardian. I know lots of things. I'm afraid that Solvin is not an area of my expertise, but I know enough to recognize the symbol of a famous city such as that.
Oh, that gives me some comfort that you know.
Of course, yes. Many of Hesper's worshippers, we study history. We cannot let such things be forgotten to time. Still, how can I help you and your friends? Who are you?
Huh? Sorry?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Quill, Kilekad Kalar, priest of Hesper.
Ah, a fellow dean.
No, well,
An acolyte, perhaps? You're still learning about the
Yes.
Lord of Knowledge?
Learning and exploring.
Ah, well, that is exactly what he would wish of you to do. Well, it is good to meet a fellow worshipper of Hesper. And yourself, my dear?
Hi, my name's Nova Viger, and I've heard so much about. Well, I've heard one thing about you, but I really wanted to meet you.
She takes a sip of her blood, and you see these very prominent sort of vampiric teeth, like kind of slightly biting into her red lips as she drinks, and then puts it down.
I heard that you're an expert on Eterna.
It needs
And
to settle down today.
Yes,
hot people in this episode. Come on,
big glowing lion man.
sexy hot vampire lady. Come on. Goth me is like yes.
Yes, you have come to the right person. I
No,
am
I get
indeed a student of the Eterna. I'm very fortunate to count one of them as a close personal friend. This is Helios, by the way. And he turns and he's like, Matterborn. And he like nods his head.
Matterborn.
It's what I call you. Types made of your substanceness.
My substanceness.
Still odd.
Are you comfortable in these conditions with a guard and a sunlight orb and...
Of course not. I would love to be out there in the city and out there exploring Aerois as I once did, but the deans of Hesper seemed convinced that if I am left to my own devices, I will be going around sucking the blood of every citizen that I come across. Not the fact that I ignored I didn't need such protections. For 20 or 30 years I had Helios here, but still, if it makes them feel more comfortable and I get access to their library, then I'm more than willing to stay. Yes.
I'm just staring. So Nova's just staring at Helios. Like something in that conversation, she's just staring at Helios with her mouth open and kind of just pointing.
Yes.
Are you an Eterna?
He could not look more exasperated. And Elisandra just is like, oh, my dear, of course he is. And he's just like, he's glowing. He's not like a normal person. Imagine like he's just radiating light. You know, he's almost like he's made of energy, but he's taken this humanoid shape and form.
For podcast listeners, Nova's mouth is wide open.
Yes, he is in fact the very reason that I am not some crazed blood-sucking monster.
How... So he's...
So you wish me to tell the story. I was exploring ruins, a place called Dust Hallow in Al Saraf, many years ago, 100 years or so ago, back in my early days, 50, 60 years ago perhaps. It's hard to keep track of time when you don't age. It was there in the ruins that I discovered a starved, feral lieutenant of Zakira, a vampire, some sort of crazed old warrior, I guess. He attacked me, bit me, but I managed to destroy him before the curse fully took hold, blasted a hole in the ceiling, and the sunlight destroyed him. It turns out that this lieutenant, this commander, had been bound to an Eterna, a piece of armor, and specifically. Well, sensing the curse beginning to take my mind and strip away my empathy and my humanity, I reached out and bound myself to the armor, knowing what I did of the Eterna and the symbiosis between us. And when I first heard Helios speak, I uttered my first and only command to him, that he must not allow me to ever harm the innocent.
I see.
And I have done my duty ever since.
But how are you in this form? A humanoid form and not a weapon? The armor.
He looks down to Elisandra, and just basically, she kind of marks and says like, oh, I have no use for such barbaric things as armor. I would not wish to wear it. Eterna are beings of energy. Back when they lived in their system, their home system, they would be effervescent. They would be energy, clouds, nebulae of it. But they could always take a humanoid form to interact with other creatures, other species they met from other worlds. This is how they came to communicate with cows, back before the Sundering. But since they came to our world, since their kind have been bound by the Court of Shadows, they can now take these more crude forms of weapons, armor, and such things. But I have no use for that. Why would I deny this creature the ability to walk and speak and enjoy the world? No, I have asked Helios to remain in this form, so he does. But the fact that you knew of Eternal, and you know of their abilities, you have learned this from somewhere, yes? It is not very common knowledge. I'm interested to know how you know.
I learned it from Dean Simon.
But Dean Simon would not have mentioned my name unless you knew something.
I was researching the Eternal Triumvirate, and I wanted to know more about them. And he recommended I speak to you.
Well, you are playing very coy with me, my dear, but the Eternal Triumvirate, that is something only a few of us know, even within Hesper's holy walls. So you know it from somewhere.
I think...
Okay, quid pro quo. Can you tell me where the Eternal Triumvirate are? And I'll tell you why. No.
My dear, I wish I could. If I could speak with Tassadar or Elhalia, or even Tiangong. To do so would be incredible, but sadly they are lost. Tiangong was splintered into many shards, pieces, powering Starbane's numerous war machines and vehicles, his weapons. Starbane himself is said to have wielded a chunk of Tiangong. As for Tassadar, nobody has seen him or heard of him. Helios has tried to reach out to many of his companions that wander free, but no luck.
Does that mean stupid sexy Starbane has a part of Tiangong?
Yes, he does.
Well, get a load of this and then dunk Tiangong.
Tiangong basketball form.
How
Kobe.
important would it be to recover Tiangong?
Extremely. If you know of the Eternal Triumvirate, they were the leaders of the Eterna. What they refer to as Princeps, or Princeps Eterna. Their leaders, their governors, and chief among them was the Eternal Triumvirate, the three greatest. Tiangong was one such Eterna. Helios here, he is what we call a Cyphus Eterna, a protector, a guardian. They would form shields, they would protect the others in the nebula. There's also another type called Gladio Eterna, who are the attackers, the spears, the warriors.
Okay.
What's
Helios
Yeah.
steps forward at this
Oh
point.
no.
Why are you asking so many questions, travelers? This is knowledge far beyond just wandering priests or ancient weapons. You know something. What do you know of my people? Are you one of these scum that enslave us and bind us to fight for you?
No. I want to free you.
Easy words for a race that has showed that they are capable of betrayals. Come now, Helios. There is no need for any of this. I know that you do not think very highly of our kind, but surely you must understand that this girl is not some traitor like Callus Starbane. I've seen the face of a traitor. I saw him the day that he came to speak with the Eternal Triumvirate. Charm and words of victory against a powerful enemy. Look what he did to us. Slaved us, turned us into things to be drained, batteries.
And what of the Triumvirate? How did they serve Starbane?
Different ways. Tassadar was placed within his greatest ship, his warship, given the same name as Tassadar himself.
I don't say cool.
As for Alea, nobody knows. She vanished. And as for Tiangong, he was broken. He was powerful. Sid, if you wouldn't mind stepping outside, or if somebody wouldn't mind stepping outside, go get our McDonald's, please. I don't know, because I'm going to probably finish this up front. Okay, thanks, Sid.
I'm going.
Nice.
Tassadar, Tiangong, they were split up into so many shards, used to power so many war machines. No one knows. You can see that his demeanor diminishes. A sad tale for the Eternal, I'm afraid. They were convinced that they would be helping protect the universe. Perhaps in a way that they were, but they were used to attack here.
Nova's gonna be staring at Quill at this point, like kind of like.
I'll like nudge my head. You may as well. Wait, what?
Just trying to be like, I don't know, trying to convey like.
I'll cast message.
Okay.
So you turn and do this. No sound comes out.
Yeah. And what?
Should we tell them?
Yeah. They seem safe.
Can I be close to the door?
Yeah. I'm assuming at this point you're basically stood in front of like the black curtain that separated this room from the main room.
Don't freak out. And then I'm gonna draw Tiangong.
Yep.
So, I have cast an aura on this that covers its power. But I think, well, I know this is probably what you're looking for.
Well,
Elisandra raises a very polished nailed finger, clicks it. It's a 3rd level spell. What's magic aura? A 3rd level or lower?
It's 2nd level.
It dispels immediately. You feel the aura, the illusion you've cast upon Tiangong just shatter as she dispels magic. And Helios, his leonine eyes go wide, and his face begins to turn into a snarl. You!
I said don't freak out!
You have taken him!
No, I rescued them!
You have enslaved him!
I rescued
He
them!
begins picking up the spear, and
no,
Elisandra is just looking wide-eyed,
You said you wouldn't freak out!
I promise nothing. They are one of the greatest of my kind, and you carry him around as some meaningless blade.
No, I'm trying to reform them!
Sentry, you're moving in front.
I'm moving in front of Nova.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
Bye.
Peace.
Meanwhile, Ayla's just having a
I was gonna say.
really meaningful chat with Smeek, trying to teach him how to say Lucius properly.
Lucy.
No.
Lucius.
Closer.
Lucius.
He's almost there. One day, I'm gonna get him to say
Tom's so
Lucius,
bad.
How did this
Aaron,
happen?
Elena.
Hey, Katie did it.
Why?
I haven't said anything for a while.
Oh, for God's sake.
Smeek needs his time, Tom.
It's time.
So,
Come back.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this figure is looming down on Nova. He is this giant 6'4" figure is just kind of stepping towards Nova, release him now.
Tiangong speaks to me!
He looks down. And there is a pause where you feel, Nova, a pulse from Tiangong. Him speaking to you, but this is projected outwards as best as it can, weak in its state, but you see Helios stagger back, reeling from some unseen force that you can't comprehend, and he just drops to a knee. It's I can't breathe. And he just bows his head. Princeps, it is you. Elisandra is well, quite a development. To think that you have carried around one of the Eternal Triumphant. How did you come across them?
I found it. I found the first shard in an abandoned skiff. It was a Court of Shadows skiff, and I didn't know what I was looking at, but it called to me, and
Fascinating.
And I took it.
Fascinating.
But it wanted to come with me. I promise.
Yes.
I haven't enslaved it.
My dear, I believe you. Helios, you must understand that this is as if imagine that he was carrying around a king or one of our gods. Imagine he carried around Hesper at his waist.
I understand. That's why I've been cautious.
Yes, you are wise to be. There are many who would be very keen to get your hands on such a thing. It is very interesting indeed. What do you want? What are you here for?
I want to reform Tiangong. I want to find as many pieces, but I don't know how. I can hear sometimes Tiangong is trying to speak to me, but I don't know. We communicate with feelings and dreams and emotion, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I want to do the best I can by them.
In such a weakened state, I'm amazed that Tiangong is able to provide even that. He was broken into many shards. By my research, I believe that he's been broken into 13 pieces.
That's a lot of shards.
Callus carries the largest and most powerful. Still, to this day, apparently. It was never recovered, so. But the others, some of them may be here on Aerois. You've already encountered 2, you say?
Yeah.
And maybe more here. But some will also be powering his ships still out there, along with many other Eterna. But I'm sure that there will be more. His invasion of Aerois was His invasion was very thorough, and many of his greatest war machines were sent here. Only Tiangong had the power to bring life to them. In terms of helping you find them, my dear, if I had found any, I would have them myself. I would be trying to do exactly as you do, but sadly, I am here for now, and I cannot leave. But Helios can.
Are you sure about that?
Do you not want him to protect you?
As long as that sunlight is outside there, and as long as the temple attendants bring me sheep's blood or goat's blood, I should be fine. I think this is more important that he travels with you, if you are seeking the return of Tiangong.
Helios, would you want to come with us?
He looks. You realize what this would mean, Alessandra. You would need to be unbound. I understand. You will need to bind with one of these three. I do not imagine that Miss Ganassi will be able to if she carries Tiangong's pact. But yes, I think that you should. You are free to travel as you wish. This is important to you, yes? Yes. If we can restore Tiangong to even a fraction of his power, he would be able to help the others, find the others. Perhaps we can find Aleia, or other warriors, other gladios, or other seraphs. Yes. I do wish to travel with you, Ganassi. But I will not do so as something bound to you. I will do so as my own being.
That's fine.
Very well. And Alessandra's just like, I will need some time. A few days. Just to make sure I have everything in order. But return. And before you leave Gusthaven, Helios will come with you.
Thank you. Thank you both.
I will give you what research I have. I have the few names of a few Eterna that are here on Aerois. What state they are in, I do not know. And there are several which are still lost. I will give you them. I will give you their names.
Thank you.
Well, that's
Bring back whatever you learn. That is my only price. Whatever you learn, you must bring back here to be shared for future generations.
absolutely.
So be it. Return in a few days.
I think before we leave, I don't want to RP this, but I think before we leave, I would probably sit and tell her about Night Frost. Just so that she knows.
Helios will want to hear that
Yeah,
as well.
so I can tell her, like, just for her records.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she'll take extensive notes, and Helios looks very pained as he hears it, like hearing the loss of somebody he knew. So, we're going to start wrapping things up, but there's some decisions to be made. In terms of airships,
We will bind Smeek to Helios.
he actually, technically, he doesn't need to be bound. He can just travel on his own will.
Awesome. Christ,
But you
Smeek
can maybe
will say when
convince
he
him
sees
to bind to one of you in time.
Cool.
Yeah,
He
he
is-
seems pretty gruff.
He is a Sliphus Eterna, which means he's a piece. He's armor. So he, rather than becoming a weapon, he becomes armor.
Cool.
Give it to the bird.
Okay,
Give it to
but
the
as
bird.
yet, he is just a giant lion protector.
Giant lion man, and he looks like a spearman. Like his armor and he has carries a big spear with him as well.
Has he got physicality to his
Actually, no, he
body?
wouldn't have a spear. He just has like claws. He just has like big burly arms.
Okay, could he
Could he
be
punch?
equipped?
You think so? Yeah, he pulled the curtains back. Like
he
he
did.
has a form to him.
Nice.
He's not just energy. Yeah, unlike Night Frost, he seems to be a bit more tangible.
Well, don't put him down.
I didn't say that. I didn't put him down. So we can start thinking about next time. So we'll do a bit more of this RP next time. But you can, Lucius, you can gather everybody up. You can travel to Lillian Sprocket.
I collect everybody up. I now have them in my arms.
Perfect. So let's talk about airships before we finish up. So 30,000 gold is the base cost.
Yes.
You've already associated that as funds. It will take 1 week. Most of the components they already have, they just will basically build it to be assembled. Lily and Sprocket are a gnomish couple. One is a tinker gnome, one is a whisper gnome. Very slight variations. You can't really tell them apart that very well. They look to be the same. Short, weird hair, big eyes with no pupils.
Okay.
They have, what is it? They have 7 children who are various ages and are part of the company in various ways. They basically only take custom orders, but they are very well known for what they do. Some things that I want you to think about for next time. You will need to come up with a first mate. So basically, choose a race and some give me some personality of a first mate that you would like. You will also have 4 untrained hirelings. Again, I would recommend you come up with choose a race for them, but maybe elect one as their leader and give that a personality, and then that'll share that with the group. So imagine them as a little group of NPCs.
Yeah.
And then a skilled hireling as well. And you also have 10 members of a crew and do the same thing. So we're going to have half-elf crew and their leader is this NPC. You can come up with names, you can come up with quirks for them. We can roll it, you can ask me and I'll roll it randomly if you want.
Okay.
It's up to you. Cool. It's your ship. Lucius, specifically for you, you need to choose a cosmetic and a weapon feature. Cosmetic feature. This is all stuff that I have taken from the Akink book, or it's inspired by. So the cosmetic feature is exactly as it sounds. You can design it to look a certain way. This can include fantastical elements, as long as they don't provide any magical or mechanical benefits. So you could say, on the ship, we have ghost servants that fly around and do stuff. And they'll help out, but they're really just visual. They don't do anything. They're just a purely visual thing. You can say the airship looks like a huge dragon, and it has big spectral wings that make it look like it's a dragon in flight. It's basically a purely cosmetic thing. You get to design how it looks, right? And that's your choice, Chris Drop. Weapon-wise, you have 3 choices. You can either have ballista, which is basically like a big ballista. You can have an arcane cannon. The cannon takes some time to charge up, but then it fires like a big beam. Or you can have a hydraulic ram on the front for when you actually, but you have to physically ram things with the ship. And it's like a big piston ram. How it looks, again, completely up to you.
Stuff to think about.
Sure.
Not much though. It's going to look like Lucius's face, but the whole ship is.
God.
It's
visually
Quill.
If you want for the
20
crew,
times bigger.
I am more than happy to roll them up randomly. But if you want to say I want to pick the first mate, and then I come up with the rest of the crew, that's fine. If you want to do the opposite and say, well, maybe you're like, well, can we have Nanny Norfair as the skilled hireling? Maybe.
Could we get it right?
You can absolutely have a riot. She will not be as effective, in terms of combat and stuff. I do have separate stats for how effective they are.
Yeah.
So it would be a riot, but she wouldn't be as effective as when Ree was playing her as a player character, if that makes sense. But you can absolutely say we're going to go and hire her to be the first mate, and she runs the ship.
Cool.
And stuff like that.
Well, we'll have a think for next time.
Yes, that's the main thing. Have a think for next time because we've got some stuff to read,
Well,
and food to eat.
I mean, first, I just want to say we've got a friggin' airship.
I know, right?
Well, you will do in a week.
In production.
Yeah.
And an Eterna!
In a production.
Anna Turner. Holy crap.
What an episode.
Right, let's rattle through these because we got to take a break before we stream over on twitch.tv/D&D just after this. Hey, Mr. Altissimo. Hey, all, me again, all settled into Texas now. The podcast came in handy for the 11-hour and 6-hour drives.
Wow.
Episodes. Let a brother know if you're in North Texas. I'll hook you up with some world-class barbecue.
Oh,
I love that.
I love that.
Mia
Nice.
Kitty donated. Love the new emote. Hope we get lots more Smeek content. Sorry, Tom. Thank you very much, Mia Kitty. Ola Renvey donated no message.
Thank you.
Zelda Zorian, 1 of 2. I'm glad I can finally watch live after catching up on all Lightfall, every miniseries, and the new campaign. It's taken so long, but it's been amazing watching everything.
Wow.
You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Second part of that message, watching live for the first time. I have timed perfectly as well. Today's my 18th birthday.
Happy birthday!
I'll see you all at YonCon with my HR VIP tickets. I'm looking forward to running the game for you, Zelda Zorian. Thank you very much. Metamanu, $250, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ultra Roids, hey you guys, first time I've been able to watch live. Only discovered Aerois and HR a few weeks ago through Trot and got instantly hooked. It has it all. I'm finally caught up. It's just a wee donation to say thanks for all you guys do. Much love. Thank you very much, Ultra Roids. Nightjar, excited for YonCon. Will be lovely to see you all again and finally meet Rhiannon. Hopefully, love you guys. Also, thanks for the Smeek emote. Lots of Smeek emotes. Thank you very much. The Guild at Ravenmore donated. Aloha Rollers, finally able to donate after moving to the Hawaiian Islands.
I
Just
wanna be
wanted to let you know that I'm all working on a little musical project for you, writing and putting music to Prayer of Siaska. Keep up the good work.
nice.
Amazing.
Very
Lemming223, hi Rollers. I want to say thank you very much for providing me with many hours of excellent entertainment. It's so much fun watching you play D&D. Also, Ree, you especially look lovely today. Lightning Wing Dragon donated. Sanya Benichiela. I'm guessing that's Lion King, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
Darth Dave, thank you very much for the donation. Ace of Thorns, Ace Hug Yo. I don't get it.
Thank you.
Thanks, though, Ace.
And
Lightning Dragon, could Kim give up her airship part for the airship, thereby lowering the cost or affecting stats of the ship?
I was going to ask about this at the end. I have an Ethereum command core from way in the beginning.
Yeah, I'll take off some money for that if you want to use that.
Okay.
I
Or
mean-
could it turbo boost the engine?
It won't turbo boost it, no.
Okay.
The Sparrow Blade was not a particularly cool airship,
Okay. What?
but it will reduce the cost.
Yeah,
Sure.
can I give that
It's
to you and
died
take that
cool.
off my inventory?
I've got a name for the airship already,
Really?
but I'll
Save that
say
for
it
next time.
Next week.
Next week,
No,
well, not
next
next week, we're away next week, and then the week
2
after
weeks.
that is the Yocon.
3 weeks.
So then,
Oh man, yeah. Okay.
Well, we'll see. We'll figure out what's going to go on. Hey, thank you guys so much. We'll be over on twitch.tv/D&D in just a moment. Rivals of Waterdeep are finishing up. We're
Say
going to go eat
hi.
some food.
Yeah.
Say hi to them. We'll be over there in a
nice.
few seconds.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Thanks for our
Cricket.
sponsors.
Yeah,
Bye!
Bye.